Welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky, and as always, I'm here with Matt Stewart and Jess Perkins.
And boy, oh boy, are we happy that you're back, because we've had to do that intro for the last little while. And let me just say, one of us is slightly better at it than the other, but we both suck.
But one sucks slightly more.
That's correct, yes. And I won't say who, but
Well.
I did point. So Dave knows. And the audience, I feel, knows as
All
well.
right. Yes, stop being so hard on yourself. You did a fine job, okay?
I did my best, that's for sure.
I've been listening back. I've been loving it. I can enjoy the show as a listener.
Oh, yeah, it's great when you're not on it.
While I was away, I loved listening to the Chowchilla episode.
Oh,
It was
yeah, that
fantastic.
was a good one.
Yeah.
Have you already forgotten that, Dave? That was your report.
Yes, I remember them all.
Okay, that must be nice.
Oh, must be nice.
Shit.
And I wake up thinking about that.
Yeah.
So it's been a few months since we've seen Dave. It's been about a month since Jess has seen me. I
Yeah.
guess it's also been a couple of months since Dave has seen Jess and I.
That's correct. Yes, that all adds up.
Does that cover everyone? Or
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
I tried to hold back. I was going to say it. But well done.
But it's, so, I mean, for listeners, it will not have felt like we've missed a beat because, Dave, we had some fantastic guests in your stead.
Some absolute bangers, and I appreciate them stepping up and filling out these shoes so well that they're a bit big now.
You left for not that long, and now the 3 longest ever episodes, I think, were recorded in your absence.
Yeah, we need you.
We need you to rein us in,
So excited
Dave.
to get this ep done in under an hour,
Let's get it done. Give me 5
including
minutes.
Patreon.
Hey, Dave, maybe because you've been away for a little while, I can explain to you how this show works.
Please remind me.
So one of the 3 of us, it's you this week, so hopefully you do remember that, goes away and researches a topic, usually suggested by a listener or listeners, and we'll go away, we'll research, we'll learn, we'll take it in, we'll soak it in, and then we'll write up a sort of an old school report, bring it back to the class, read it out, while the other 2 politely listen without interruption. Certainly no tedious tangents.
Nope.
Or any such things. No bad riffs.
No silliness, that's for sure.
If there's ever a bad riff, you better believe it gets edited out.
Yeah.
Also, if we hear it,
If you hear a riff, that means we think it was good.
Or if you hear a riff that is bad, we're being ironic.
Yes. Oh, that's a good point.
or you're wrong.
Yeah, you just don't get it.
Ever thought about
You
that?
just don't get it.
Should also say the report giver is also the editor. So whatever's left in, that's on Dave this week.
That's
Dave,
Absolutely.
we normally start our reports with a question. Do you have a question to
Yes.
kick us off this week?
Have not forgotten that. And here is my question for you. A super exciting, cool question. That is, the Great Pyramid of Giza is the only surviving member of what extremely cool club?
The 7 Wonders of the World.
Correct, sir.
Wow.
Jess is mind blown.
The 7 Pyramids of the World.
It's the only... Can you repeat the question?
The Great Pyramid of Giza is the only surviving member of what extremely cool club? And
The
the answer,
Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
That's
Oh my
one.
God.
Is it really?
you.
That's another one.
No, keep going.
The haze came down.
And I'm sorry that I'm shocked that you know this. Keep going.
I don't know if I know it. Is there one that's like pink steps or something?
No. The
Okay.
Pink Steps
Oh,
of Persia.
Is that one?
No.
Okay, what do we got? The Garden of Eden.
Okay, so it's multiple gardens
My Nana's Garden.
of Eden.
It was beautiful. Of East Bentley.
So these are the 7 ancient wonders of the world.
Oh, cool. Are there 7 modern wonders?
They are, which we will discuss.
Oh my God. How
They're-
exciting.
They're all in Melbourne. The Rialto.
Yeah.
The beautiful blue.
Grave Street.
Oh, De Graves.
Marvel Stadium.
Marvel Stadium.
Got that MCG?
Coffee culture.
Coffee culture.
It's a
is
little
one of-
less tangible, that one, but it's there.
Oh, you can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
I'm sure it feels less tangible to outsiders.
Yes.
But you come to Melbourne, you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
that is tangible.
Because outsiders will be like, oh, we also do coffee to, very similar to this.
And we go, no, you don't.
In a laneway, and
No,
they'll
you
say,
don't.
yeah, in a laneway.
I don't.
We start sweating.
Yeah, they're like, we're like, oh, with like a proper
Please.
coffee machine.
Please don't take this from us.
Grind the beans.
This
do you?
is strangely one of our things.
We're very proud of it.
Come on, next you're going to tell me that you're one of dozens of cities that have trams.
Yeah, that's right. And have many kinds of weather. You have multiple seasons. That's ours.
What an identity. This topic, the 7 ancient wonders of the world, has been suggested by Jack Godden, Blake Wild from Yuma, Arizona, Peter Williams from Johannesburg, South Africa, and Jessica English from Mound, Minnesota.
Mound. Fantastic.
Yeah.
She's from Mound.
I just recently
It's really tickled him.
Jessica English.
I want to. I want to put that on the Golden Mile. How far out of range is it from Ohio, the great state of God's country, Ohio, Gary, Indiana, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? Can I add it to the track?
I'll give you a coordinates from Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
It will take you.
Here we go.
It is but a short
Yes.
7-hour, 9-minute drive.
Fantastic.
Easy peasy. Can
Golden
do that in a
Mile.
day.
Yeah. Let's call it the Golden Baker's Mile now.
Yes,
It's a little longer.
That's better.
And I want to remind everyone, no tedious tangents or bad riffs.
All right, then don't worry about what I'm
And
going to say.
certainly no interrupting Jess multiple times while she starts a sentence.
Sorry, Jess, I'll take this one.
No, just Jessica English recently, might have it in the last couple of weeks, was on the fact quote or question or a shout out after I spent a solid 5 minutes talking about how I didn't like to be called Jessica and I could never find any novelty things that just said Jess. And then I was like, and now next is Jessica English. I'm sure you like it and that's great. I just don't like it. So just an apology.
I think
again to
Jessica's
Jessica.
fantastic.
I agree.
Yeah. And she's
For
from
others.
Mound.
From Mound.
You think Mound is good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very close to Mound. I'm lost in the map now. In Minnesota, there's a place called Minnetonka.
Oh.
Minnetonka, Minnesota.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
that's amazing.
I'm moving to Minnetonka.
That's,
Mound and Minnetonka, Minnesota. Yes.
That's good stuff.
They're
Both-
my twin cities.
they are both on the outskirts of the Twin Cities. Or the
Well-
Twin City of Minneapolis. So there you go.
No. Mound and Minnetonka are now the twin cities. Fuck Minneapolis.
Okay, so the so-called 7 wonders of the ancient world were architectural and artistic feats scattered across the Middle East, North Africa, and Southern Europe. At one stage or another, all 7. Forgotten where to pause.
Dave's forgotten how to talk. It's okay, bud.
At one stage or another, all 7 stood within the Greek Empire.
Oh.
In 336 BCE, Alexander the Great's conquests unified ancient Greece. Basically, he conquered all of the known world to him at the time, from Greece all the way to northern India, and this brought together the civilizations of the Babylonians, the Persians, the Egyptians, and of course, the Greeks. And now they were all under one ruler, people started to travel across the vast empire to do a bit of sightseeing. You know, to see what the other older cultures had to offer. And people started to put together what were essentially travel guides outlining the amazing must-see sites. According to Amazing Art, which is one of my favourite sources for this report, the Greeks did not initially conceive of these monuments as wonders, but they used the Greek word themata, which means sights or things to be seen.
Okay, yeah.
But that doesn't sound quite as good. The 7 ancient things to be seen of the world.
Yeah. 7 ancient sites. That's
7
not too
ancient
bad.
thematas, though.
That's beautiful.
That sounds good.
That is nice. English ruins everything.
Yeah.
Jessica English ruins everything. Like the name Jess. Say it properly. Nah, good on you, Jessica.
Good on you,
Good on you. You're doing a great job there.
Maybe she doesn't mind Jess.
Maybe she doesn't.
Maybe she likes Jessie, which is psycho, but that's fine.
Or sicker.
Sicker. Yep. Or Aki Sedge.
It's an option. Like you said.
It's just go backwards.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
There's debates as to where the list comes from, as many ancient writers across Europe and Middle East themselves debated the topic as to what the top 7 were. History.com writes, the original list comes from a work by Philo of Byzantium, written in 225 BC, called On the 7 Wonders. That sounds pretty
That sounds nice.
pretty accurate to me, pretty close to the bone here. But apparently, Herodotus, often referred to as the father of history, apparently also wrote a list, and he was alive 2 centuries earlier. But his writing on the subject doesn't survive, but it's been referenced in surviving works. So there's debate as to who came up with the list. According to archaeologists Peter Clayton and Martin Price, the list that we have today only became fixed in the Renaissance, so a long time after the fact.
But a long time ago still.
Yeah, that's still ages.
That's so long ago.
Sure, it was 2,000 years after their time, but it's still 500 years before our time.
Yeah.
But generally, what I'm trying to cover myself is the 7 ancient wonders of the world are generally accepted as being the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, Matt.
Well
Yeah.
done.
The Pink
Sounds
Steps
beautiful.
of Persia.
Yes, yep.
Do you have any other guesses, Jess?
No idea.
The statue of Zeus at Olympia,
Oh.
the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, the Colossus of Rhodes, and finally the Lighthouse of Alexandria.
Wow.
If we were to look at them on a modern atlas, 2 of the wonders were in Greece, 2 in Turkey, 2 in Egypt, and 1 in Iraq. But notice I said were. This episode is what happened to the 7 ancient wonders of the world.
You did kind of give that away when you said
Yeah, well,
the
only
Giza was the
surviving.
only surviving one,
Yes.
but still.
Hey, that was still exciting.
No,
Don't
I
ruin
still
this moment.
look. That's true.
I still gasped.
I gasped as well, but I wasn't sure why I did.
Do you gasp at Jess gasping?
It's the same. If I'm watching people applaud, I applaud.
Yeah. you
Even
watch
if it's on
people yawn,
TV.
you
Oh,
yawn.
I do that too, but that's mostly from doing TV audience warm-up, and I think I've dropped the bar. Oh, sorry, we're clapping, we're
Yeah.
clapping. Oh, God, I'm
Do
done.
you say that when you do an audience warm up? We're clapping, we're clapping.
We're clapping, we're clapping.
And we're stopping, we're wooing, madam.
And I haven't seen the project in a while, but it does pick up in the audience mics. You saying that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The people at home otherwise don't realise that they're clapping.
You got to
Right.
mic the audience warm-up guy.
Yeah.
Everyone needs
My
to know.
mic's louder than the host's. And rapping there, Waleed. Now, I'm going to go through these in historical order of when they were created.
Okay, so like chronological.
Yeah, I guess that's another word for it, but I prefer the Greek.
Historical. I'm going to go through this in historical order. Great.
Themata.
Themata.
Okay, we'll go chronologically. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I'm never right.
Do you have any idea which of the 7 is the oldest?
I'm going to say whichever one you're going to talk about first.
And that is, amazingly enough, the only ancient wonder still standing is also the oldest.
Wow, there you go.
By a long, long way.
Wow.
I mean, this shows how much I don't understand time.
Yeah.
You know, history and stuff. Yeah, it's wild that is older than everything
Like
else.
the pyramids saw these other wonders come and go, still laughing.
That's incredible. That must feel really good to be that pyramid. Just sitting there all smug.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's a geezer. Sitting back, oh yeah, these fucking things. What that was.
No, that was I was getting
That
into
was,
it.
that was geezer. That was geezer.
Hey, you fucking, oh yeah, you got a bit of a statue there, do you? Yeah, nice one, geezer. It's dropping. I'm staying. Here we go. Fuck off, you toilet, eh? Shut that fucking lid, you felt face fuck. You muppet fucker.
We really lost you for a second there.
It's amazing. So they have sex with the Muppets.
You felt face
You
fucker.
felt face fucker.
Muppet fucker. You and Gonzo then, all right, eh? All right.
Tickle me, Elmo, you fuck.
So the Great Pyramids of Giza are located at Giza on the west bank of the Nile River north of Cairo in Egypt. 3 pyramids of different height were constructed between 2575 and 2465 BCE, which is 4,500 years ago.
Wow.
It's a long...
4,500. Wow.
Years. That's crazy.
Long
That was
time ago.
quite a while before the Saints won their one and only VFL AFL
But
Premiership in 1966.
The good news is the pyramids stood the test of time long enough to see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they can let go.
Yeah, that's right.
Back into the sand.
They're slowly letting go. They're holding out just for one more.
Yeah, one more. And another 4,500 years ought to do it.
Is the cat person involved?
The Sphinx is very close by in the same precinct.
Right, but it was never seen as a wonder.
No, not considered one of the wonders. But there's also debate as to how old that is. Some people are like, this thing's 25,000 years old. It's not, but some
Okay.
people claim that.
Because the aliens did it or whatever. Yeah, wow.
So each of the 3 pyramids are thought to have been built as a tomb for a different pharaoh. That's the predominant theory. The largest pyramid, the northernmost and oldest of the group, was built for Pharaoh Khufu, also known in Greek as Cheops. The second king of the 4th dynasty, it's known as the Great Pyramid of Khufu.
Yeah.
Not surprisingly. The Great Pyramid originally stood at 146.6 meters tall, or 481 feet, meaning that it was unsurpassed as the tallest man-made structure in the world for approximately 3,800 years.
Wow, that is ridiculous.
Isn't that wild? And it's actually debated whether it was the Eiffel Tower in 1889 or the Lincoln Cathedral spire in England built in 1300 that unseated the pyramid.
I mean, spires. I feel like spires.
if
Take
you-
them out of
If
it.
you take the spire
Take
off,
spires
it
out.
wasn't until the Eiffel Tower that humans had made a taller structure.
You know, this is...
wild.
That's
This is what
incredible.
happened to the Rialto. It was it lost its crown as the tallest building in Melbourne when I'm not even going to name it because I can't even remember. But some other building put a spire on the top.
Oh.
That doesn't
That doesn't
freaking
count.
count.
That is-
Can't go up it.
Yeah,
That's uninspired architecture.
Uninspired.
Well, it's inspired architecture, but it's uninspiring in my books.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
it's a stick.
It's a stick.
It's a
It doesn't
stick.
count.
Who cares? We could all wave a flag on top
Yeah.
of it.
Look, I put a big stick on my head. Look at me. I'm
Oh,
the
yeah.
tallest woman in the world.
Look, Jess is now 12 feet tall.
Look at that.
That's,
Come on.
that's a big stick.
That's a big stick.
That's a big stick.
It's
Come
too
on.
big, honestly. Yeah.
Geez, that's an impressively big stick you're holding on your head there, Jess.
That's the longest stick in the
Whoa,
world.
have a look at that stick.
I'd say that stick's the eighth wonder of the world.
It's a beautiful stick.
The length of each side of the Great Pyramid at the base averages 755 feet or 230 meters each side, meaning in total it covers an area of 13 acres.
Whoa.
This thing's big,
Yeah.
and they really are an engineering marvel.
Are you laughing because I floored?
I was,
Whoa.
I was kind of laughing at Dave's. This is big. It's like, yeah, mate.
Yeah, no,
That's big
it's, you gotta
stuff.
get it.
You don't have to convince us. We agree.
We
It's
agree.
big.
But maybe I need to blow your mind with historian Mark van der Meerup, who puts the incredible construction into context.
Okay.
He wrote, "We estimate that it contained 2,300,000 blocks of stone with an average of 2 3/4 tons for each stone, some weighing up to 16 tons. Khufu ruled 23 years according to the royal canon, which would mean that throughout his reign, annually 100,000 blocks, which is daily about 285 blocks, or one every 2 minutes of daylight, had to be quarried, transported, dressed, and put in place.
Wow.
Every 2 minutes, they had to put a block in for 23 years.
Khufu, what a madman.
That sounds awful.
So that's just...
You
sounds
better,
so
hey,
bad.
you get them blocks ready. You get them ready, get them dressed, get them quarried. We get them, putting them in this big triangle thing up here. All right. Then we'll have a couple of pints to knock off.
We really lose him, but it's beautiful to watch.
It's so beautiful.
Just like any kind of manual labor like that, to me, just kill me.
If someone would say, build this pyramid or die, I just lie down.
I'd be like, just take me now, thank you. I've moved that every fucking 2 minutes. No,
2
thank
minutes.
you. No, thank you. I'm more of like a sit at a desk,
Yeah,
stare out a window and contemplate kind of
do you
work.
need any admin need to be done for
got
this?
some invoicing
this
you need done.
pyramid?
I must insist I need a standing desk.
Yeah, I do need to stand. I'm an active person. Happy to like go to the gym and
Yeah.
leg press.
Yeah, obviously not active enough to move stone.
No,
No.
God no. But I do want to look after my spine.
Jess, you'd be one of the first people picked at a big rock
Well, that's what I
moving
mean. It's
business.
deceptive.
You
People are
just
like, you're strong, aren't you?
You just lie on your
Sure.
back and you just sort of just kick the.
Kick 'em
Yeah,
up.
I'm
Kick the
strong for
bricks.
like a half an hour at a time.
Well, I think
What's that,
we could do
15
it in
blocks?
shifts.
Oh, God.
Good work.
Just put a bullet in me.
Half an hour on, half an hour off.
No.
Jess, you're hired. There's your spot over
I
there.
don't want it.
We'll lie you down there. We'll just put the blocks in front of you. Kick them into the pyramid.
This is part of why, like, you know, I love the idea when people buy houses and do DIY projects themselves and like self-renovate. I'm like, good for you, but abso-fucking-lutely not. Never in a million years. You know you can pay people to do that, right? Oh, God. Oh, I don't want to do anything.
What do you call it when there's some term they say when it's ready to go? Is there a term?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
There was a period during lockdowns where I watched so many house shows,
Yeah.
but all that knowledge is now gone.
I know what you mean, though.
But there would
Like when
always
you're looking for a place.
There'd be
yeah.
a couple looking for a house, and one of them's like, "Hey, I'd prefer to, we could save a bit of money and have
Yeah.
a do it yourself place." And the other one's like, "I want it to be G to G."
Yeah.
but I can't remember what the term was.
Me either.
But it was.
But I know what you mean.
It was
and
a
that's
housey
me.
term.
Like the most I'd do is paint. And even then I'd be like, oh God, somebody else do it. I'll make sandwiches.
Painters need sandwiches.
I'll put the kettle on. You please just do the painting.
I'm so, like right now, I'd paint a wall for a sandwich and a cup of tea.
Great. Come on over.
And the good news, Jess, is they were put in place every 2 minutes, and it wasn't like they just threw them down anyway. They were put in place with extreme precision.
Oh, my God.
All 4 sides are accurately oriented to the 4 cardinal points of the compass, and they are aligned north-south with an accuracy of up to 0.05 degrees.
Wow.
That's pretty accurate.
It's really accurate.
The funny thing is, when they set out to make this thing, it was meant to be a barn. But they failed, but they failed beautifully.
Yeah, people were like, well, where's the door? Oh, fuck. Barns have doors.
How do you get the cows in?
Shit. The biggest enduring mystery of the pyramids is how were they built? A question that is still debated. The Greeks believed that the pyramids, this is a long time later, they thought that pyramids were built with slave labour, although evidence uncovered in the 20th century shows workers living on site. And this, as well as other evidence, led to many to dispute this fact, and instead most experts proposed the pyramids were actually built by highly skilled labourers.
Right, and they only
Sick.
know that because somebody was keeping a spreadsheet
Yes.
of
At a
all
standing
the-
desk.
and that, you need those people
You
as
need
well.
those people.
Happy to be that person. You need a day off for a wedding, funeral, whatever. You come and see Jess. She schedules it for you. No worries.
Jess English, are we talking about?
Yeah, Jessica English.
So you're telling me that the Great Pyramid of Giza had an HR department?
Surely.
There you go.
How do you manage that many people without HR? Are you kidding me?
Dave, you've been a bit unrealistic here, mate.
Come on, mate.
Thought you were telling the story.
People still wonder, getting back to the story, how did they move millions of stone blocks weighing up to 16 tons? One common explanation is that they may have used a ramp, a sloping... Simple explanation. A sloping and encircling embankment of brick, earth and sand, which was increased in height and length as the pyramid rose. And then the stone blocks were possibly hauled up the ramp by means of sledges, rollers and levers.
Oh, yeah.
And people with very strong legs.
Strong legs.
I love people having a guess like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Probably a ramp.
scissor lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. They probably just went to Kennard's
Probably
hire.
just got an ogre to move them around. They're very strong.
Yeah.
Giants.
There was a bridge nearby, so
There
it
was a
could have
bridge,
been an
it's got
ogre. Yeah.
It was already there when they got there.
So it was easy.
They're like, oh, yeah, great.
Sweet, I wanted the pyramid.
Leave it as is. Oh, this is move-in ready. What is that fucking...
what is it?
What is it? People are probably yelling at their iPods right now.
I can't think of the term either.
I think it probably is like move-in ready.
Yeah.
Like it's just...
There's probably no real term.
Is the term perfect when they
Yeah.
say this place is perfect?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe is there no term? Anyway, Dave, please do go on.
One of the reasons people point to things like aliens and supernatural powers building the pyramids is there isn't any recorded evidence of how they built them. There's no plans or inscriptions describing the build or the process or something like that. But the reality is that's probably because they were built by Egyptians using technological means, which most likely were so common at the time and so basic to them, they felt no need to record them. They're like, yeah, of course that's how we build it. We don't need to write down how we built it.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. It's obvious.
It's funny how, you kind of, well, I always thought, as time moves on, we evolve better ways of doing things. We get smarter and stuff, then hearing from different history podcasts and stuff that there were big dips in technology.
Yeah, it's not like it doesn't move in one direction.
Yeah, it's not linear, but, like wasn't it the aqueducts? Like there was this, it was very advanced stuff the Romans were using, if I'm remembering this right. And then, not many generations later, they were all in ruins and people were like, how the fuck do you use these things?
They were like, we don't know how to fix that.
How do you fix that? So funny.
So they may have just been extremely advanced.
That's why it's important to have someone taking notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that.
You can write down how are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah. Explain it to me. I'll write that down.
Document the process.
Yeah.
They might be the only surviving ancient wonders, but they have not survived intact by any means. I actually did not realize this, but when originally constructed, the Great Pyramids, which we all know what they look like, they were
Pyramids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's blocks stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
But they're actually cased in smooth white limestone over the top.
Oh, so like rendered.
Yeah, and precisely worked blocks were placed in horizontal layers and carefully fitted together with mortar. Their outward faces cut at a slope and smoothed to a high degree. So it was all flat and smooth.
I was going to make a joke at the start of like how many times do you reckon they've had to repaint or re-render?
Yeah.
But it really was.
Yeah, they were covered in a smooth
That's
And
interesting.
they've just
white
let it
rock.
go to ruin. Bit disappointing, actually.
Yeah.
Thought, who's there looking after it? If I remember the Mummy. Wasn't there a whole group of people who were meant to
Exactly.
be there looking after it?
Someone dropped the ball. Someone in HR.
Yeah. There was that hunk on horseback.
Oh, horseback hunk.
He dropped the ball.
Credited as.
Oh, God. Horseback hunk.
The outer surface of the casing stones were finally polished, so the pyramid shimmered in the bright sun and was visible for miles around. They already look incredible, but they must have looked amazing.
They're like shimmering.
In the desert sun.
Wow. That's cool.
Over the centuries, the limestone fell away and was later utilized as building material for the city of Cairo. And that is a common occurrence with these wonders. People go, yeah, no, I need that to build something else. So they just take down, a beautiful structure. Small bits of it can still be seen on the ground around the Great Pyramid, though. The pyramid was also once topped by a capstone known as, and this is also a new word for me, a pyramidion.
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 The capstone on top of a pyramid.
It's like a little pyramid hat.
Yeah.
Pyramidion.
I love it.
That's cute.
It's not 100% known what this was made of. It could have been limestone, granite, or basalt, but some speculate it was made of gold.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining.
On top of a white shimmering gold on top. It would have looked so
It would
good.
look like a little gold nipple.
That would have been cute. I would have done it with just like corrugated iron, maybe,
Yeah.
Colorbond steel or whatever.
That stuff lasts.
It lasts. It looks great. You're watering the garden, you get distracted by it. That's how good it looks.
Yeah,
If the ads are to be believed.
because you're in love with your fence.
Yeah.
God, that's a good fence.
But
I
then
love my fence.
and just, when you're inside there, mummified or whatever, that beautiful sound of rain on the tin roof. Oh my God.
Oh, the rain's in here.
Nothing better than that.
When you can't get to sleep,
Yeah.
and it starts raining,
Ugh.
you're like, here we go.
It's like a massage for your ears.
Yeah, give me 5 minutes. I'll be in Snoozeville.
Yeah, but then it gets a little too heavy.
and
You
you're
start
like,
thinking,
shut the fuck
is
up.
that thing got a hole?
Yeah,
Is this pyramidion got a hole?
it's fun, isn't it?
But all in all, with these losses, the pyramid is now about 8 meters shorter than it was when it was intact. So
How
8
impressive
meters.
is it then?
it was even taller.
That happens as you age.
You lose about 8
lose
meters.
a bit of
About
height.
8 meters. Yeah, Grandma, she used to be, 9 meters.
Yeah,
Now she's only 1.
yeah.
Apparently the term is move-in ready. I was thinking it was going to be more satisfying than that.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'd love to know what combination of words you search for that.
Okay, I can tell you.
Real estate word for when you move, when it's ready to move into.
When place is good to go.
I searched term meaning house is ready to move in. No renovation required.
And Google said, "Did you mean move in ready?"
yeah.
You're like, I
Oh,
suppose
yeah.
I did.
I get
There you
it.
go. I was thinking it was going to be more satisfying than that, but fine. Agree to disagree.
All 3 pyramids were plundered both internally and externally in ancient and medieval times. The only remaining object in the king's chamber, because remember it's supposed to be a burial
He's the
place,
king.
is he's not there.
Oh my God, rude.
It's a sarcophagus made out of a single hollowed out granite block, but when it was rediscovered in the early Middle Ages, it was found broken and any contents had been removed. Someone had nicked him.
They nicked him. Surely that's
Gross.
not the bit to nick.
Yeah.
The corpse.
If you don't want to be cursed forever.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what you're into. Some people, sure, that's probably the exact thing they'd want to steal. For me, it'd be that big bit of granite.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Imagine what you could do with that.
Make it a bench.
Yeah?
Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Get a few kitchen tops out of that.
Gorgeous.
Or just the biggest kitchen top in the world.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, if you're the kind of person who doesn't need a move-in ready house and you want to do a few of your own personal touches, maybe a sarcophagus kitchen top granite top would be
Well, they're like-
beautiful.
Their own grand designs. They're like, as you can see here, Kevin, we've actually imported a pyramidion from the ancient Egypt pyramid.
And Kevin automatically knows exactly what they're talking about because he knows everything.
He's like, oh, yes, of course.
Of
So
course.
despite not being a qualified architect myself, I will critique the architecture of this building. Kevin, you used to create theatre sets.
yeah.
That's your job.
Well, that doesn't take a certain
It feels like,
creative ability.
doesn't it feel like Dave's been holding on to that for a while?
Dave's been watching a lot of Grand Designs.
I love
too.
it, though. I love him. I love it. I love when he's negative, and I love 45 minutes later when I know he's going to be positive. Love it.
He's always like, they're never going to do it. I can't believe they did it.
Oh, wow, they did it. So the afterlife was a big deal for the Egyptians, and it was supposed to house the pharaoh's remains forever. So putting a massive marker on top of your burial spot actually kind of backfired. It may be the reason why they stopped building pyramids and instead started being buried in a distant valley carved into rock, hidden away, now known as the Valley of the Kings. Sadly for them, most of them have since been found too, but it's how Tutankhamun was able to lie in peace until 1920.
Wow. That is such a long time.
Hot for tart.
Hot for tart.
So we're going to find him eventually, you know.
Got to.
A man with that kind of aura.
Yeah. Just get his vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Worldhistory.org writes that although the Great Pyramid of Giza and the other smaller pyramids, temples, monuments and stuff around it continued to be respected throughout Egypt's history, the site fell into decline after the Roman occupation and then annexation of the country in 30 BCE. At this time, they were already 2,600 years old. There's that often circulated fact that Cleopatra lived closer to the launch of the iPhone than she did to the building of the Great Pyramids, and she lived around this time, so it's true.
Whoa.
Isn't that wild?
The site was more or less neglected until Napoleon's Egyptian campaign of 1798, during which he brought along his team of scholars and scientists to document ancient Egyptian culture and monuments. Napoleon's work in Egypt attracted others to the country, who then inspired still others to visit, making their own observations and conduct their own excavations. And the peoples of Europe's fascination with Egypt really kicked off in the 19th century. And you used to be able to climb the Great Pyramid, but nowadays it's highly illegal and trespass can result in jail time, although that doesn't stop people from sneaking around the guards at night. Danish photographer Andreas Hived caused great controversy in 2018 when he published a photo of himself having sex with a woman on top of the pyramid.
On the nipple.
On top of the nipple. He later clarified that the lady in the photo was a model and that it just looked like they were doing it. But they
Oh, it's
weren't.
okay. She was a model. She's allowed to have sex anywhere. She's hot.
Yeah. But
That's baffling.
the Egyptian government were very pissed.
It doesn't...
How high is the pyramid again? It's in the 300-meter high club or something.
It doesn't feel like the easiest place to bang.
On the tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not.
Like, why can't it just be a selfie on it? Like, why do you have to be... Anyway, yep. What a cool guy.
Ugh.
Oh, it's not cool to bang a model on the top of the pyramid? Well, okay. Well, the idea of what's cool has changed in my time, obviously.
In your 4,500
I can't
years.
think of anything cooler than banging a model on the top of the fucking pyramids. Sounds like the coolest guy of all time. Just like, banging a model on the top of a pyramid. What a loser. Fucking hell. I missed his name. Was it James Dean? Who was this guy?
Andreas. What a name.
Stop it.
People that came to Egypt in the 9th century said, man fears time and time fears the pyramids. Because they've been around for so long. And hopefully they last for many more thousands of years.
That's a fun quote.
So that's the only surviving.
Wow.
And I've done the most research on that because there's so much information on it because it's still there.
Yeah.
Did you get close? Because you got to Northern Africa on your recent trip?
Yes, it's the closest I've ever been, but I have not been to the pyramids. But we flew over on the way there.
That's cool.
I was
saw the
sitting
tip.
on a wing, so I didn't get to see them out the window.
But you were boning at the time as well, so
Yes,
it's
of
hard
course.
to look out the window.
No, it looked like I was boning. I wanted everyone to think that, but it wasn't.
Oh, sorry, I forgot who I was talking to. You certainly weren't
Even
boning.
it, like, that was an opportunity for him to be like, yeah, I was. And he was still like,
He's
no,
too
no.
honest. Too honest.
I'm in the Mile High posing as if you're having sex club.
Yeah.
It's very,
Very proud of
that's
you.
more exclusive.
Yeah, that's true.
It's easier just to do it. I just want to appear like I'm doing it.
At all times.
Hey, get the captain down here. I want him to see something.
Perspective tricks. You're actually 3 meters apart from each other.
All right, moving on from the most famous of the 7 wonders to probably the second most well known, but also the most controversial.
Ooh. Is that the other one I've heard of?
Yeah, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
It sounds very nice.
The pictures of it are amazing.
Yes. But it's controversial because they might never have existed.
Whoa. And when I say pictures, I mean drawings.
Thank God,
There's no
yeah.
The
photos.
photo.
I don't know it at all. I'm going to look up the photos.
Look up, there's amazing art inspired by it. The gardens were said to have been built in the ancient city of Babylon near the royal palace in what is present-day Hilla in Iraq. They were possibly built by the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II.
Oh, he's a famous one.
Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Great name.
Very good name.
Around 600 BC, meaning that they are 2,000 years younger than the pyramids.
Wow.
And they're the second oldest, apparently.
Isn't that ridiculous?
So that's why
Yeah.
they're laughing when they're like, we should probably be in our own category.
Yeah. Yeah, there must have been so many that came and went in the meantime.
2,000 years of human history.
It's so funny. They're like, yeah, we're just building a thing we build, not realizing that they're building it in such a perfect way that
It'll be there
outlasts
forever.
everything.
The story goes for the Hanging Gardens that the king built the towering gardens to ease his lover Amethyst's homesickness for the natural beauty of her home in Media, northwestern Iran. At the time, Nebuchadnezzar II was seen as one of the most powerful rulers in the world. Had a lot of clout, had a lot of cash.
What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want? Sex on top of a pyramid. You want to be cool.
To appear that you have
Yeah,
sex on top of a pyramid.
So what do we got? We got money, clout, sex on a pyramid. In what order, though?
In what order?
That doesn't make sense. Because we started that conversation off the podcast.
Yeah, we were talking about clout and sex off the podcast. No,
We have some weird combos.
we think of hanging gardens, what you probably do, I do, as meaning hanging in like basket type things.
Yeah, that is what I was thinking.
But the name is actually derived from the Greek word chromastos, meaning overhanging, and probably refers to gardens on raised structure, like a terrace.
Yep.
That kind of,
Beautiful.
like you're in, the garden's up above you, but it's
How
not
cool is that?
not all hanging.
Gorgeous.
The gardens were said to have been planted as high as 75 feet in the air
So high up.
on huge square brick terraces that was laid out in steps like a theatre. This would mean they would have had an incredibly complex irrigation system for the plants to survive the conditions of their area. According to History.com, though there are multiple accounts of the gardens in both Greek and Roman literature, none of them are first-hand, and no mention of the gardens have been found in Babylonian inscriptions.
And you'd think if you had something that cool, you'd probably
Yes.
like
You'd
tweet about
inscribe
it.
something,
You
wouldn't
know
you?
what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Surely.
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 Because of this, the Hanging Gardens remain the only one of the 7 wonders for which the location has not been definitely established. So we're not sure what happened to them or if they're completely fictional.
Whoa.
Although archaeologists continue to search. So who knows, this time next year they'll probably be in the news as being discovered, as
Yeah.
they always are.
Because I don't know, there's something magic in our drinking water, and we keep talking about things just before there's news about them.
Any day now. People have been searching for 2,000
They're
years.
going to find it.
So they've been the great subject for artist impressions over the years. And like we were saying before, if you look it up on an image search, there's some beautiful
Stunning.
palatial gardens there.
I would guess that somebody's tried to create that in The Sims. Definitely.
Or like Minecraft.
Yeah, 100%.
that'd be-
Absolutely. And it's probably beautiful
Wow.
for those little Sims to enjoy.
Get them in the pool.
And you're thinking like it's got to have a great irrigation system. I reckon you just water at the top, and it's it just seeps down.
I just trickle down economics.
Oh.
101.
It's not that hard, mate.
Bit of water for the big guys. Bit of water for the little guys.
Water for the little guys. Thank you very much.
Have all the generational wealthy plants up the top.
The beautiful ferns.
Yeah.
You got the weeds down the bottom. There'll be some for us any second now, guys.
Here we go.
You think of yourself as a weed.
Oh, the third oldest of the ancient wonders takes us to Greece itself to visit the statue of Zeus at Olympia. This statue was erected around 435 BC, having been commissioned by the Eleans, custodians of the Olympic...
Aliens
Oh my gosh, it's so close.
Jess, have you just
cracked
cracked
the
this case wide open?
And these aliens are also custodians of the Olympic Games. It all makes sense.
Rog? Does that include Rog? What's his name? Rog. What's Rog?
Who's Rog?
Wasn't Rog one of the Olympic boss guys?
Is that a mascot?
Rog?
Rog. I'm sure there was a guy called Rog. Have we not talked about Rog before?
I don't remember Rog.
Rog.
Well, there's Dick Pound.
Oh, Dick Pound. I mean,
Is
How'd
that
he
who
go
you
past
meant when
Dick
you
Pound?
said
What do you mean?
Rog?
No, what did I...
The vice president of the International Olympic Committee, Dick Pound. Is that who you meant?
Oh, Dick Pound's fantastic. Why am I thinking of someone called Rog? I'm just remembering Roy and HG when they used to do Olympic shows. I'm sure they kept banging on about someone called Rog. Have I made that up? It's possible.
That's funny.
If I knew how to spell Rog, I'd be a better chance. But anyway.
I don't see how there's too many options in how to spell ROG.
Oh, okay.
Jacques
Jacques
Rog?
Rog.
Jacques Rog.
ROGGE, president from 2001 to 2013.
Jacques Rog.
What a reference.
Do you think is he an alien? You think Rog and Pound are aliens? Dick Pound, Jacques Rog.
What,
Yeah.
and what are the Olympic rings if not a little map of somewhere for the aliens to land?
Yeah.
What are they?
I asked you that.
Not a map of somewhere for the aliens to land. What are they?
Can I just say?
How else could you explain it?
I rest my case. No further
I
questions.
thought it was
John?
going to make some sense when you started it, but it didn't. What else could they be?
What else could there
What else
be?
could there be,
Obviously,
Matt?
there's a space for the blue aliens, the green aliens. There's a space for them all. They're all welcome.
You know what? You've turned me around. I can't argue against that. It's actually beautiful when you put it like that.
So the statue of Zeus, it was commissioned by the aliens, custodians of the Olympics. Now, we all know about the Olympic Games, but at the time, these are the ancient games, of course, they weren't the only cities holding games. And competition was fierce, not just on the field, but also between the games and their host cities.
So
What?
there was the Commonwealth Games as well and
Yeah,
other such
yeah.
things. Pretty important big games that I think most of the world, not just Australia, who wins a lot of medals for their only time.
Yay, we beat some people.
And Canadians do well as well. Let's not...
Yeah.
And the New Zealanders.
But it is good when America's not there.
It does make it a little easier.
It makes it a bit easier.
It
Yeah.
makes
You
it
can
a
take out
little-
America, China, and Russia.
Yeah.
We're looking good.
And we're looking good.
It does help a little.
You know, population-wise, we're a lot smaller.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about that for a second.
So
Factor that in.
factor that in.
That's also part of Melbourne's culture. Everyone here is an Olympian.
Yeah.
That's
Everyone.
right.
There's not enough of us otherwise.
Dave's
put
an
in a
Olympic
team.
chess player, and we're very proud of him.
That's
Thank
how
you.
we all know Andrew Gaze. That's why he's one of our mates.
Yeah, Gazy.
Because we all know each other. We're all Olympians here.
All in the village.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the aliens were the custodians of the Olympic Games. And seeking to outdo their rivals, they hired sculptor Phidias to create a statue of Zeus in the newly constructed Temple of Zeus. No relation.
Pure coincidence.
Phidias was well known, having previously constructed the massive statue of Athena Parthenos in the Parthenon in Athens.
No relation.
No relation. But this new commission was next level. Zeus, the god of the sky and chief deity of ancient Greek mythology, was depicted sitting on an elaborate cedarwood throne ornamented with ebony, ivory, gold, and many precious stones.
Living together in perfect harmony.
That's
Absolutely.
nice.
And despite being seated, he was still 13 meters or 42 feet tall and filled the full height of the temple. It kind of looked... It said
Wow.
it looked like if he stood up, he would take the roof off.
Whoa. So you can't... That's uncomfortable if you can't stand.
Never stand, yeah.
Oof. Don't love that. No standing desk there. Take the roof off.
It took 8 years to construct. On his outstretched right hand was a statue of Nike, goddess of victory, and in the god's left hand
Just
was
do it.
just
I hate myself.
and in the god's left hand was a puma shoe. So
Puma
Puma
shoe.
pants.
puma shoe.
A pair of Puma
I was
pants.
going to say Adidas, but I know that freaks out American listeners when we say it like that.
Adidas. Have you got a picture there, Maddie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing there's just different artistic.
Oh, yeah, yeah. of
Yes,
course.
there's a lot of.
Interpretation.
I'll be posting on our social media one a day. I think of the
Great. Because that would be
of the ancient
a
wonders.
week's worth.
Exactly.
Because the
Wow.
fact is, the fact that they built it on wood might be part of the reason why it doesn't exist anymore. Feels like big stone, multi-ton rocks was the way to go with the pyramids.
Yeah, keep it going because that stuff doesn't burn. Zeus himself was made from ivory.
As in, like, elephant tusks.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, which they amazingly shaped.
Wow.
They put together many, many pieces of it.
A lot of elephant blood was spilt.
Yes, it's kind of awful to imagine. But moving on, his ivory was used for his flesh, and he was draped in gold, solid gold. To protect the ivory, it was constantly coated in olive oil, which is kind of weird.
So he's oily.
He's always
and
oily,
shiny.
and he sat above a small pool of oil so it didn't spill into the rest of the building.
I use that excuse as well. I like when people are like, why are you oiling yourself up? Oh, it's to preserve me or whatever.
Preserve the ivory.
The ivory. Stop asking.
People are so rude. I'm
Oh,
sorry
that
they
is
keep
so
asking
rude.
you while you're dousing yourself in oil.
So,
Extra virgin.
sorry, Dave, I borrowed your oil.
Hey, I wasn't finished with that.
What are you doing with it?
No questions. You don't want to know.
And I tell you what, the people on the Jetstar flight were not amused. The oil was getting in the chairs.
Got it.
I was slipping off the seat. Very hard to
It's hard to clean.
Very hard to clean, very hard to get in the club up there
Yeah.
when you're so slippery.
Seems like it would be
No one can get a
easier.
grip on you.
Yeah, it looked like I was having sex, but really, I was slipping all over the place. So he actually was above a pool of oil that
Yeah.
held it, and that actually reflected his image and made it look even bigger.
Wow.
So imagine constant oil. Weird.
I mean, yeah, I guess the fact that it's a sculpture and not a real person makes it a bit better. But if I was a real person just constantly being covered in oil, sitting in a pool of oil, I
Sounds
wouldn't
like living
that.
a dream. Oh,
Me personally,
oh,
me
okay.
personally.
Okay. Yeah, the sad thing is to think about all the olives whose blood was spilt in
Yeah.
the making of that.
Yes. Kind of awful to imagine, but moving on. According to legend, the sculptor Phidias asked his creation Zeus for a sign of his approval after finishing the statue. Soon after, the temple was struck by lightning.
Oh my god, I was gonna joke that it was struck by
Oh,
lightning.
no, it was.
Like,
But-
but I was imagining that the sculpture is struck by lightning and destroyed. And he's like, "Thank you, Zeus. He likes
he
it."
likes it.
Wow. Yeah, you'd take that, wouldn't you? Sure.
Yeah, or maybe that's him saying, I hate it.
Yeah,
you
had-
fucked my nose.
Yeah, oof.
I don't like that at all.
It's a very tricky way to communicate.
Yeah.
Give me a sign.
How about just send me a text?
Yeah. If you can make the sign like in words so I can read it.
Yeah, or like an emoji, like a thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
Make it nice and clear.
But if he sends down a thumb from up and, it could lands wherever it lands. Could be
Yeah.
up, could be down. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
You have
tough,
to have
isn't it?
like an arrow pointing up saying
Yeah.
this way up.
Or like a line underneath it, like when you do a 6 or a 9.
Yes. That will help Zeus if you're listening. These
Yeah.
are just some
And
things
he
you
is.
could do to improve the system.
where we just sent down the numbers 69, and you're like, he thinks it's
He
nice.
thinks that's good.
Either way.
I think this is nice. Same for both of us.
Despite the acclaim for his work, Phidias the sculptor wasn't able to avoid controversy and plotting from enemies who accused him of stealing gold from the statue of Athena at Parthenos that he created earlier.
Honestly, are you a successful artist unless there's controversy?
Unless people accuse you of stealing gold.
Yeah. Then it's like, if that's how you know you've made it.
Is
As
it-
an artist.
Yeah. It's not stealing. It's being inspired by.
That's
I
right.
steal like an artist.
Yeah.
He was able to disprove the accusations, but was later imprisoned for impiety, for including portraits of Pericles and himself on the shield of Athena, on the Athena Parthenos. They were like, are you comparing yourself to the gods by putting yourself on there? And he's like, that's kind of my signature. This was almost certainly politically motivated, as these people didn't like him, and it's not sure if he ended up just dying in prison. It's sad.
Sad.
That's
he-
a tough situation where, they could just make up any rule
Yeah.
and go, no, we don't like you. So, you're going to prison because you made Zeus's hair yellow.
Yeah. And that's,
And that's
wrong.
That's wrong. That's disrespectful to Zeus. We all know his hair is brown.
Yeah. You made his little toe quite small.
Yeah.
You're trying to imply he's weak?
He's actually got the biggest little toe.
Yeah. Like it's weird.
It's bigger than his big toe.
He actually doesn't have a little toe. He's just got 5 big
He's
toes
just
on
got
each
toes.
foot.
Finding footwear is a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's why he wears sandals.
Yeah. Don't you know anything about Zeus?
Come on.
Can't do closed toes. Nothing will hold those bad boys in.
So Phidias had a horrible end, but despite this, his statue lived on for 800 years.
Whoa.
That's pretty good innings.
Pretty good. In AD 379, Roman Emperor Theodosius I came to power. He was a Christian ruler and decreed that all pagan, non-Christian practices must cease. The temples were closed and the Olympic Games were shut down in 393. So he killed the Olympics.
What a dog.
It said that the maniacal Roman Emperor Caligula, whose antics I've done a full episode on, ordered that the statue be brought to Rome so he could have the head chopped off and replaced with a sculpture of his own.
Okay, yep. I was going to say, like, if it was just about cutting the head off, just do that there. Don't bring the whole sculpture across.
What a
Just cut the head
nightmare.
off. But I understand he wants the hot boulder for
Hot body
himself.
so he can be like, this is me.
Yeah,
that
my
body's
freakishly
spot
big
on.
toes.
These toes are huge.
Huge.
But I don't have yellow hair. Cut that head off.
But Caligula was assassinated before that could happen, so probably just as well. He was crazy. According to legend, though, when the workers built the scaffolding to remove the statue for Caligula, it let out a great laugh and destroyed all the scaffolding. So, ha ha ha.
That sounds right.
Do you think that's a great laugh, Dave?
Give us a great laugh, Matt.
That was
Something
great.
like
That was great. I get that.
That was great.
Dave, yours was a bit shit, actually.
Yeah, sorry. Like when I used to play Santa at Christmas parties when I was 19, and I'd go, ho, ho, ho. And that people would say, oh, Santa's a bit Scottish this year. And I'd be like, fuck off, Grandma.
How are you saying ho,
Oh,
ho,
no.
ho?
Oh, Merry Christmas.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's Scottish.
all right,
Are you
Grandma.
saying haggis in between?
Yeah.
Or-
Haggis for you, dear boy. William Wallace was my dad. What?
I'm from Glasgow.
From Glasgow, eh?
Wee jobby.
Oh, Santa's a bit
A
Scottish.
little bit Scottish. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, no, that's fair enough. If that was the case, no worries, Nana.
I was draped in a Scottish flag. So that's the story. That it laughed off the scaffolding like, you'll never move me, which is great until you learn that the statue of Zeus was eventually successfully moved to a temple in Constantinople, where it is believed to have been destroyed in a fire around the year 462, probably because it had a bit of wood there. You're right, Matt.
It's basically been built on kindling.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Sadly, no accurate copies survive. We only know what it looks like based on ancient Greek descriptions and representations on coins. But some say it was the most revered of all the ancient wonders.
Oh,
Apparently, it was amazing.
yeah, cool. That's pretty sad that it had to go.
Yeah, but
Yeah, all good things, huh?
all good things. Speaking of which, next up is the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, which was located on the western coast of Asia Minor, which is in modern-day Turkey. It was built in the 6th century BCE, so similar time, and was a Greek temple dedicated to an ancient local form of the goddess Artemis. It's also known as the Temple of Diana, as Diana is the Roman equivalent
Right.
of Artemis.
Artemis. What do we know about Artemis?
I thought Diana's always pictured with the hounds.
Oh, yeah. Is Artemis fowl anything? Does that mean anything?
Oh, Artemis Fowl, yes, that's a group, like a young adult novel series.
Okay. I don't know why that's in my head. Any relation there?
Any relation? Yes. Jess, did you?
Read Artemis Fowl?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
But I worked in a bookshop, so I can confirm it is a book.
Okay.
never knew you worked in a bookshop. Which one?
I worked at Dimmicks.
Wow.
Yeah. For like a couple of years, maybe?
Nice one. Did you ever write one of those recommendations?
Yeah. Book talkers, shelf talkers.
Oh, right on.
I think I did, yeah.
What were you recommending? Not Artemis Fowl.
Probably
obviously.
really good stuff, I reckon. I don't remember.
You just like the Bible. Loved it.
Loved it.
From Jess.
Big fan. Twist at the end.
You'll never see it coming.
You'll never believe.
According to the internet, wikipedia.org, great website I've just stumbled upon. In ancient Greek mythology and religion, Artemis is the goddess of the hunt, the wilderness, wild animals, nature, vegetation, childbirth, care of children, and chastity. There's a bit of a
Yeah,
there's
quite
like a bit
lot
of a
there.
contradiction laid
got-
as
she
well.
got multi-
Childbirth and chastity.
Got multiple portfolios that contradict each other.
She was heavily identified with Selene, the moon, and Hecate or Hecate. another moon goddess, and was thus regarded as one of the most prominent lunar deities in mythology, alongside the aforementioned two. There you go.
There you go. The hunting one, that makes sense why she's often got dogs with her.
Right. And fowl? Chickens? Where do they come in?
She smelled terrible. So it's the Temple of Artemis is what we're talking about. And it was massive, measuring 350 by 180 feet or 110 by 55 meters, which for scale makes it twice the size of the Parthenon in Athens.
Wow.
It had 126 40-foot marble columns and was heralded with incredible artwork. It was so magnificent, it caused Philo of Byzantium to say, I have seen the walls and hanging gardens of ancient Babylon, the statue of Olympian Zeus, the Colossus of Rhodes, the mighty work of the high pyramids, and the tomb of Mausolus. But when I saw the temple at Ephesus rising to the clouds, all these other wonders were put in the shade.
Wow.
So, cop that.
So he had seen the Hanging Gardens, supposedly. Firsthand.
And I'd also just told you that people said that Zeus was the best one, and he just said, that sucks.
Wow.
Get out of here, Zeus.
Get me here.
No, they've all got their fans so far.
The architect behind the temple was Cheresphron. Almost certainly saying that incorrectly. The building had many lintels, which are horizontal structural beams that extend over an opening, like between the height of a door or a window, keeps the wall at the top. In this case, they connected the marble columns.
Oh, yeah.
They're a nightmare if you're trying to put a wall split air conditioner on
Yeah.
in a like a multi-story apartment building. Steel lintels, you can't drill through those.
Oh, you're dreaming.
So, or you can, but you know, that's gonna be pretty spendy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which is a term Dave taught me means expensive.
A little bit spendy.
Bit spendy.
Americans say it apparently.
Well, I heard
You
one
picked up on
American
your
say it.
travels. Bit spendy.
How about this on my travels with Americans? I'm in Amsterdam. I'm waiting a long time for a lift with 3 other American ladies because their friend is coming through the lobby, and I'm over a minute we're waiting for,
Wow.
I'm coming, she's yelling out. Not in that context.
No one was
Nobody
thinking
made,
in
yeah,
that
nobody
context.
made that
As
leap.
soon as I said that, I was like, all right, I can see why she was taking a minute. But give me a second.
Why was she taking so long to walk over to the lift?
Get into the lift, and then she gets in, the doors closed, and one of them says to me, oh, you enjoying your trip so far? And I said, so far so good. Having a good time. Then I get to my level, and I get out, and I hear one of them say to the other, I guess some people just don't understand American kindness. And then the door closed. And I was
Wait,
like, I was perfectly polite. So far so good. I'm having a good time.
Wait, what?
What were you supposed to do?
I don't know.
What was the American kindness? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Making you wait ages and then saying, are you enjoying your trip?
Yeah, and me saying, pretty good.
Yeah, I am. Thank you.
They just thought you were a bit, maybe you were a bit gruff or
Yeah,
something.
maybe
Yeah.
you were supposed to ask them. You didn't ask them?
Oh,
I didn't,
yeah.
but I
Gotta
didn't have
return the
time.
question.
We'd already waited 5 minutes in the lift.
Far out.
Dave, I didn't realize you
Just
were
a-
a rude boy.
Yeah,
I
oh.
knew you loved Scar, but I didn't realize you were.
My
rude
goodness.
With apologies to anyone who does understand American kindness. Apparently, I do not.
That's just pretty disappointing to hear that about you, Dave.
Sorry, everyone. But back to the lintels. I talk about it because it was so complicated to do. The architect contemplated suicide when lowering them in because he was so stressed about it.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
But the way they did it was quite ingenious. They ended up lowering the lintels into place by stacking them on top of bags of sand
That is
and then
good.
slowly letting out sand at the bottom until they
What?
filled perfectly the gap between the columns. And then they're like, great. So
Wow,
they
that's clever.
Because obviously they didn't have cranes or anything like that, so they just got to lower, lower, lower. Or like modern cranes anyway. Lower, lower, lower. Bang.
They had the birds.
Yeah,
they
they had birds.
Many birds.
That
Do you
sounds
get
very
it?
clever.
Do you
and,
get it?
Yeah, cranes.
And then
Which I saw, they're in Morocco and they are huge.
Are they?
Really?
And they build nests on top of anything. And I think they're sort of seen as like a bit of a sacred bird, so no one ever moves them away. A bit lucky. And the nests are big enough for like a human could get inside it.
Wow.
They
And
are-
did you
Did you?
try?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Have you been adopted by the cranes?
I have.
Wow.
Fraser.
Fraser Crane. Yes.
it's a big Airbnb industry over there. Crane nests.
Get in.
Wow.
There you go.
Poor old Sheriff's Front didn't quite get to see all of his labours, though, because it took 50 years to build this temple. He died before its completion, and his son Metagenes had to complete the construction. But the temple had quite the history of all of them. Probably has the most checkered history. It stood for nearly 200 years, but then along came a guy called Herostratus. Hero by name, hero by nature.
Ooh.
Or so he thought.
Okay.
You
What
see,
a roller coaster.
Yeah, wow.
Herostratus was desperate for fame.
Hey,
Want people to
aren't we all?
know.
Aren't we all?
On the 21st of July, 356 BC, which legend has it is the day Alexander the Great was born, Herostratus set fire to the temple, burning it to the ground.
Why?
The building had a wooden roof and staircase, and once one of the columns collapsed, so did the rest.
That's a bit naughty.
Herostratus was arrested and admitted that he burnt it down so that his name would go down in history.
Oh,
That was the reason?
Yeah, he did it for fame, for infamy.
wow.
And now you're playing right into his hands, Dave.
Yes, well, he was executed.
This is exactly what he wants.
Yes, the authorities created after they killed him, a damnatio memori law forbidding anyone to mention his name orally or in writing in an attempt to stop him from getting his wish.
Yeah, the old Voldemort rule.
Ah.
Don't say his name.
Orally or in writing, but you could still hear his name, taste his name, or touch his
You
name.
can think it.
Oh, you could still think his name as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
I'm
try.
doing it
Trying
right
to
now.
trying to tell me what I can and can't do up
Can
here.
do anything up
Do
here.
anything
Yeah.
up here. I'm tasting his name right now up here.
Tastes good.
Yum, pineapple.
I'm going back for more. The law was obviously ineffective, as evidenced by me talking about him 2,300 years later.
Such a bad boy, Dave. Look at you breaking the rules.
I'll break the rules, whatever.
You don't care, do you? Oh, you're such a bad boy.
I say whatever comes into my
Yeah, he
mind.
does.
Doobabap. Shimmy chow.
He's crazy.
Shimmy chow.
I've never heard this used before, but apparently Herostratus has become a colloquial word for someone who commits a criminal act in order to become famous.
Okay.
Herostratic fame refers to Herostratus and means fame sought at any cost. Have you ever heard that?
No, I
No,
haven't, but
but
I love it.
I love it. I love
See-
it.
Stop copying me.
Jess, I love it.
So he burned it down to get famous. Then the temple was rebuilt and survived until late antiquity, until
Dave, can you put that into numbers?
the Gothic invasion of 267,
Okay.
the year 267.
You're like, where are the numbers?
It was destroyed again. It was once again rebuilt, however. However, it was torn down for the last time in the year 401 by Christians.
Until
Until
today. Let's rebuild
Let's-
it, baby.
Let's
Well-
rebuild it.
Love it. We'll make it move in ready.
today, only the foundations and a solitary column stand as a reminder of the incredible temple. There's one column left.
Oh,
Wow.
original column?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Although-
amazing.
Any sandbags?
Yeah, plenty of sand. You can see a reconstruction and a miniature park in Istanbul.
Oh.
A mini construction,
That's cute.
Lego World or
which
something.
is probably the photo I'll post. This is the
That's
best. And you look at it, it's amazing. It's like surrounded by columns. It looks awesome.
Wow.
And the lintels? How good are they?
Oh my goodness, they are perfect. But you will not be putting an air conditioner through those.
Absolutely not.
Too spendy.
Too spendy.
Stop
Wait,
trying to
just-
make it happen. I don't think you can pull it off. Just being honest.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
Don't do it.
Spenny's already right there.
Yeah, I feel like Spenny from you just feels better.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'll stick with a classic.
Well, while you stick with a classic, we'll be back after these messages. Or if there's no messages, I'll continue talking right now. Okay, on to my favourite of the wonders.
Oh, he's got a fave.
I wish I could see it. The mausoleum at Halicarnassus. Located in what is now Bodrum in southeastern Turkey, the monument was the tomb of Mausolus, ruler of the small kingdom of Caria and southwestern Asian Minor. It was named the mausoleum after Mausolus and was so famous that mausoleum became the generic term for outdoor monumental tombs.
So there you go.
That's where the term mausoleum comes from.
From Morsalus.
Is that a fun fact or at least a grim fact?
That's at least a grim fact.
Yeah.
I think
don't
it
know
might
if
be a
it's-
fun grim.
And it's crazy that you would make that call because
Well-
it's absolutely not your place to do
I
it.
think you're in charge of grim.
Yes.
Jess, you're in charge of fun. So we've got the tick
I
from
don't think
grim.
It's that fun.
Okay, so it's just a grim fact.
Maybe it's interesting. It's an
Okay.
interesting fact, but that's not my territory.
that's
I was
it.
trying
Yeah.
to push into your territory then.
I'm aware that what you were trying to
And
do, and I
you-
simply won't allow it.
You mounted your forces
Yeah.
or whatever they do right on the boundary.
That's right.
And you sent me back.
Yeah. I fired some arrows at you. I said,
thought-
fuck off.
I thought
Fuck off.
maybe I could
Shoo.
start a new thing that's grim fun,
No,
but I can't.
absolutely not.
You own all fun.
Yep. I am the master of fun.
There's nothing more fun than that.
Yeah. I'm a Nazi for fun.
Yeah. You're a fun Nazi.
I'm a fun
Can
Nazi.
I say that?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So the mausoleum was built in Caria's capital city, Halicarnassus, between 353 and 351 BCE by his sister Artemisia II, who was also his widow.
Wait, say that again.
Sister and wife.
So she was alive as a sister but dead as his wife? Is that what you mean? How does that even happen?
Mausolus had married his sister and then he died, so she became the sister widow. Before she was the sister wife.
Okay.
That's nah.
Yeah, some people keep it in the family too literally.
Yeah.
I think you can...
You don't do that.
You don't do that.
But I read this and I thought...
Different time.
Still.
You're saying different time. I thought this has got to be a cultural thing. I looked into it. He was the first in his family to marry his sister, so it was not common.
Okay.
Nobody else in the family
No.
had married his sister.
No, yeah.
That's
Can you imagine?
interesting.
Not even his brother.
God, she must have been a real uggo or something and nobody wanted to marry her. So eventually he was like, all right.
All right. I don't want to
Okay.
have a
Marry
loser
you.
in the family. I'll marry you.
I'll marry you to save the family's image.
There's so many other people that you can marry. Don't marry your sister or your brother. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Don't marry anyone's sister.
Oh,
Marry
yeah, that's
only
good.
only children.
Yeah.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Just in case.
How do you know that they're definitely not your sister?
Yeah, that's right.
Were you there at the birth?
No.
Probably not.
Hopefully
And
not.
if you were, you probably shouldn't marry them.
That's
yeah,
right.
there you go.
You're too old.
Never marry a sister or a brother.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
I think that's important. And
Yeah,
I'm glad we
that is
finally got to
important.
that.
We put it there. So the
Put
building.
it there.
Put it there.
Make
But-
it. Are we making a deal? Yeah, put it there,
Put it
Dave.
there.
We're bringing that into law now. Put it there.
So the mausoleum was built by Artemisia II, who's the wife/widow, for the resting place of her husband/brother. The building was designed by the Greek architects Pythias and Satyros.
Pithy and satire. That's fun.
That's good.
That is fun. Shotgun
that-
pithy.
Did they invent these things as well?
No relation
Oh.
to each other, but they did invent those things. Yes, sorry.
But good they're not related
Yeah.
because they were married.
Yeah.
And that was fine.
That's okay.
It was approximately 45 metres or 150 feet in height, and the four sides were adorned with sculptural reliefs, each created by one of four famous Greek sculptors, one of which was Scopas of Paros, who had supervised one of the rebuilds of the Temple of Artemis that I just mentioned earlier.
Oh,
So he
wow.
had his fingers in a couple of these
7 wonders.
7 wonder pies. Oh, 7 pies of... I've got to do something with that.
Yeah.
7 ancient pies. Anyway, a little
There's something
clunky.
there,
We'll
there's
get there. We'll
something
get there.
When you say you're going to do something with that,
What
what
do
do
you
you,
mean, to
mean?
eat?
You're
You're
going to go
gonna
to
eat
each of those
pies?
places and eat a pie?
Yes. Yes, I should visit these places.
And I'll come with you and I'll eat a sandwich made on Wonder Bread. Wonder White.
Wow. Can we get sponsorship for this?
7 sangers of the world. 7 ancient sangers.
The best part is if the Babylon gardens don't exist, we could just do it in our backyard.
That's true. Fantastic.
Prove us wrong. So this mausoleum, though, sat on a hill on top of a large stone platform, and on top was 36 columns. Standing between each pair of columns was a statue. Above this was a pyramid-shaped roof, and on the very top of the building were statues of 4 massive horses pulling a chariot in which rode images of Mausolus and his sister wife Artemisia. So they're on top of this thing. And if you're struggling to imagine it, it was the main inspiration for the Shrine of Remembrance in Melbourne.
Really?
Yeah, it's based on the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus,
Wow, that's kind of cool.
as well as
Yes,
many other
yeah.
buildings around the world. So
Yeah, right.
if that doesn't ring a bell for you, look up this mausoleum, type into Google Images. It looks so awesome. It's the one I wish I could see.
Can you name it again?
Mausoleum of Halicarnassus.
Sick.
After Mausolus's death, his sister wife Artemisia took control of the kingdom, which was unusual as women didn't usually rule. Thinking she'd be easy to beat, being a feeble woman, in quotation marks, the Rhodians, a nearby kingdom, decided to invade, but Artemisia outwitted them, captured them all and their boats, and then took the captured boats back to Rhodes, where they were welcomed. They were like, oh, our boys are coming home. And then they sprang up, and she also captured all of Rhodes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, sister. So the sister wife.
Hell yeah, sister wife.
So that totally backfired and she was a bit of a badass.
Wow.
But she was very saddened by her brother's death and
Brother husband.
and reportedly drank his ashes daily with wine.
No, thank you.
It's getting weirder.
No. Yuck.
I miss you so much. I want to drink you.
But why would you put him in a wine? Put him in a smoothie, blend it
Yeah,
up,
oh,
you know,
gosh.
like a protein powder. You wouldn't notice it as much. A really grainy, gritty wine. No, thank you.
Oh, but at least then you got some alcohol to give you a little buzz.
Yeah, that's true.
Give a little brother buzz.
No reason you couldn't like put it in an alcoholic smoothie or like a milkshake or something.
Yeah, mojito.
Delish.
Are they sort of blended?
No. Maybe like a pina colada, Dave's favorite.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be good because I wouldn't be thinking about how gross the ashes are because I'd be thinking how gross the pina colada is.
Yeah, great, perfect.
What are you talking about?
Pineapple
Rum,
milk?
Pineapple. Bit of milk in there.
What? No.
A creamy, frothy goodness.
No.
Bit of ashes for good measure.
Yum.
Bit of crunch.
I'm listening again.
Bit of protein.
Is that how you would like us to consume you when you're gone?
Please consume me. But I don't want to be ashes. I just want to be bits.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Just little chunks.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll do it like I was a boy and I'll take your leg, I'll chew the meat off your bone out the backyard. Like when I was a boy.
I didn't understand what you meant at first. I'll do what I like I was a boy. And
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell are you talking
When I was a boy, I used to chew meat off the bone in the backyard. Because we didn't have a dog.
So you were the dog?
I think so.
Your parents just yell,
I only
"Fetch."
realised that later. But like the end of the roast or, whatever,
Yeah.
the Sunday roast or whatever, you go, all right, Matt, you can take it out the back. And I'll be looking at the family through the window, chewing meat off the bone.
I'm not surprised that you're a lifelong vegetarian now. Because you were just like, I want to make this stop somehow. If I tell them I don't eat any meat, they can't make me
Can't
eat
make
this.
meat off the bone.
I miss it. That'd be the first thing I did.
Get into the backyard.
Yeah.
With a bone.
Ugh.
But you don't like dogs. You don't understand dogs.
No, I love dogs. Dogs are great. I don't understand having a dog. It just feels weird to me to have a dog in your house.
Yeah.
It feels like they it feels like they'd be up for just roaming around.
Yeah, I know.
Saw a few dingoes in the wild on my trip.
Ooh,
It's pretty fun.
That's cool. I haven't seen dingoes in the wild before.
Yeah,
I don't think so. That's cool.
Yeah, it was great. They were both a couple of solo dingoes.
I'm not sure how well Humphrey would go in the wild.
Oh, Goose would be dead in minutes. You kidding me? Because he would run up to a bear or something and be like, hello, because he's so friendly.
Where are you releasing him? In the Pacific Northwest.
Of course. He can't handle a hot climate. He needs to go into the woods.
So she drank her brother husband. Over the centuries, she's been depicted in art as the heartbroken lover.
Disgusting.
People like Rembrandt have painted her and all sorts of things. She died 2 years later and was interred alongside Mausolus in the mausoleum, which was finally finished after both their deaths. She was succeeded by their younger brother and sister, who also married.
Okay.
So there you go. Sadly, all good things must come to an end, and the mausoleum was destroyed in a series of earthquakes between the 13th and 15th centuries.
Whoa.
It was actually the last surviving of the 6 destroyed wonders.
Ah.
So it's the closest we've got.
Okay.
Its remains were later used in the fortification of a castle, and in 1846, pieces of one of the mausoleum's friezes were extracted from the castle and now reside, along with other relics from Halicarnassus, as well as many other stolen pieces, in London's British Museum, which I saw last week and inspired this whole report.
Oh, wow. Cool.
I'll post some photos.
So that's why it's your favourite, because you've seen some of it.
But also, did you look up the building? It looks
cool.
It looks so
It looks
cool.
like a cake.
It does, because it's got quite a big base that it sits on, and then the building on top. So it
Yeah,
does
that
look
chunky
like a cake.
base looks
Yeah.
like... I reckon someone must have made a cake out of that.
I'd love that cake.
I just love cake.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get cake?
It's our birthday soon. Do you get cake on your birthday?
No.
Oh, well.
Not typically, no.
Oh,
All right, Dave, I'll come to yours then.
please. My wife always makes the same cake, and I live for it.
Yes.
My wife.
My wife.
How many birthdays have you had a wife for?
Well,
This is your first birthday with a wife.
yeah. Before that, she was my sister. Sister wife.
And I've promoted her.
Sorry,
to
my
wife.
sister wife, Bora.
Before that, she was my sister.
All right, we're up to our sixth wonder now, second last, and we're up to the Colossus of Rhodes, which is probably the coolest sounding one.
It does sound pretty cool. Honestly, initially, I thought you had mispronounced Rome and Colosseum. And I was like, God damn it, Dave.
Come on, mate.
I know it's been a while, mate, but come on.
Come on.
Colossus of Rhodes.
Any guesses of what it is? What does that sound like?
Like a supermarket. Like a Coles.
Yeah, maybe like a,
An early supermarket, like some sort of
The
market.
first market.
maybe
Yeah.
a drag racing strip, or like a circuit, maybe one of those sort of
Yeah.
like that Bob Jane team up one outside of Melbourne.
Yep. Are we close?
You're so close.
Yes.
It is another statue.
Yeah.
That's
Second guess.
disappointing. Why are they all statues?
I mean, that.
Oh, all these wonders.
Ooh,
Oh, it's
whatever.
a statue. Okay. If I was doing them, I'd have one statue tops.
Absolutely.
in
And
my
it'd have to be a
seven.
pretty
It'd be
freaking
the
great
best
statue.
statue ever.
But they didn't have, you know what? Now I'm realizing they didn't have that much back then. Like, we're going back
This is
thousands of years.
pre-Rialto.
They probably didn't have, like, waterfalls.
Yeah.
You know
that's
what I mean?
Yeah.
They probably didn't have, like, I don't know, big rocks or something.
No.
Yeah, there's no fountains. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Because there is also a natural wonders of the world. Is there an ancient natural wonders of the world? How many wonders
'cause
of
I
the
think
world
there's a
lifts
lot.
are there?
Natural wonders are so old anyway.
Right. Good point. That's a good point when you think about it. You got me there on a
'cause they're
technicality. Yeah.
Because like the only new wonders of the world are like a sinkhole or something where people are
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
whoa, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's not like things just pop up.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, holy shit,
Where the hell did that come from?
there's an oasis over there.
Wow, a new
What happened
reef.
to that primary school?
Who cares? There's an
Kids
oasis.
weren't there.
So it was built in 305 BCE on the Greek city of Rhodes on an island of the same name. The same place captured by Artemisia 50 years earlier.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Rhodes before, and I was like, I've heard that
I've heard of this.
earlier on.
The statue depicts the Greek sun god Helios and was built to commemorate Rhodes' victory over the invading Macedonians in 305 BCE. The invasion was led by Demetrius I, son of Antigonus, a general under Alexander the Great, and Rhodes' victory was not expected. They were like, we're going to get crushed, and then they unexpectedly won. And after the win, they were quite wealthy, having sold all the military equipment left behind by their enemies. So they spent an incredible sum commemorating their proud victory. It was the equivalent of hundreds of ships' worth. Like you could build a statue or have something like 500 new ships, and they went with the statue. Like on The Simpsons.
New money.
Monorail.
Am I right?
Yeah, new money. You don't know what to do with it. It was sculpted by Charis of Lindos, who initially proposed it to be 50 feet high, already an enormous height. But he was asked to double it, meaning the Colossus stood approximately...
Hang on, let me do it. 50 feet high.
Yep.
Double it.
Yeah.
Double it.
85.
We close.
So
Dave?
close. Let me round you up to
Yes.
108
Oh,
feet high in the end.
That's
Drop
also,
8 feet.
I mean,
was
that's
33
also not
meters.
Double, is it?
But if that 8 feet is just a spire,
Oh yeah.
fuck you.
So it's 33 meters tall, which for scale is approximately the height of the modern Statue of Liberty from her feet to the crown.
Wow.
So not the base, but
Yeah, right.
the Colossus, however, stood on a marble base that was 15 meters high or 49 feet, meaning in total it was nearly 50 meters tall. This makes the Colossus the tallest statue in the ancient world. Cop that, Zeus.
Right.
Because Goose wasn't... Goose. Because Zeus was sitting down,
Sitting
though.
down, though, yeah, probably
Yeah, that's
stand
a
up.
mistake.
But this is massive, 50 meters tall, made of...
Did the term Colossus, because that means huge thing, was that
Yeah.
before or after this?
I'm not sure if it inspired the word Colossus. That would be so cool. Colossus.
I'd love, while you're looking that up, Dave, I'd love to make a request of the listeners out there. Someone who's got a little bit of Photoshop skills. Could you, just for my benefit, could you put the 7 wonders of the world on a scale next to Melbourne's Rialto?
Yeah.
Just
That would actually be
that would
really
help
helpful.
me
Yeah.
out a lot.
Because at the moment, like, I'm just really struggling to
Is it
picture
big
any
as
of
it's
this.
not?
I
don't know.
looked up the Rialto before for you.
Yeah.
The Rialto's 300 meters tall.
Okay.
So the pyramid, half the height.
Half the height.
So
Kidding.
half the Rialto.
yeah. Half as impressive.
Oh, yeah, I'm not actually that impressed now. Because I was imagining like standing at the base of the pyramid and looking up and be like, holy
Whoa,
shit. So but if
yeah.
it's like not even as big as the Rialto.
But you got to remember the Rialto is 2 buildings next to each other. Maybe
Yeah.
it's the smaller part of the Rialto.
Okay.
Just kind of.
That doesn't sound
I don't think many. How many people go to the Rialto and look at the smaller part?
Yeah,
Certainly not me.
not me. I ignore the smaller part. I flip it off actually.
Yeah.
Say, fuck you, small
Fuck
part.
you.
Fuck you. Love you, big bit.
I looked up the etymology of Colossus.
Yeah.
It's via the Latin from the Greek Colossus, applied by Herodotus, that guy before I said
Yeah.
this, the father of history, to describe the statues of Egyptian temples.
Right. So it was already in usage.
In usage,
Very
yes.
interesting.
There you go. So, but it's really tall, the tallest in the ancient world. It was made of bronze and reinforced with iron and weighted with stones in the feet. The way they probably built it was pretty incredible. They surrounded the statue by burying it in a mountain of earth so they could carry piece by piece to the top, building it standing up.
Ah.
Whenever it got bigger, they would bury it more so they could stand on top of the pile and reach the next part.
And then they just dug it out again?
Deeper and deeper and deeper. Yes, and because it was wearing a crown, when I saw recreations, it kind of looked like a buried Statue of Liberty.
Oh, Planet of the Apes
It
style.
was worth Earth all along.
You maniacs.
You blew it
You
up.
blew it up. You did it. So, wait, I'm with how do they get it out?
What?
Like, doesn't that feel like they've just created
Leaf
a
blower.
problem?
Leaf blower.
Oh,
Get
you
rid
have
of all the dirt.
oh, yep. So you just make all the ground lower.
Yeah.
You build the rest of the city around it,
Right.
and then you never see the statue, but you know it's there.
It's
Yeah.
there though.
But no, being buried during construction meant the sculptor and the workers had to wait until it was done before they could see it. So they had to dig it out.
Yeah.
And after 12 long years, the dirt was finally removed. You'd be like, I hope it's good.
And then it turns out you put the feet on backwards or something.
Yeah.
It's like one of those reality show reveals.
Yeah. He's just a bit wonky. It's like, fuck. Get the dirt back.
Yeah, that's right. I liked it better. Is the dirt enough for an ancient wonder? The dirt of Rhodes?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's where Mound was named after.
Mound has got a massive. The sculptor never saw his finished creation, apparently having committed suicide before its completion. There are many stories as to why he took his own life. One is that he was almost finished when someone pointed out a small flaw
Oh no.
and not
Don't do that.
being able to face the shame. The other is that when he initially offered to build it 50 feet high and he was asked to double it, he asked for double the money. Only later realizing that to build it that big, it would in fact cost 8 times as much. The story is he apparently took his life when he went bankrupt.
You got to do the sums. He did not crunch the numbers.
He did not. He was like, sure, double the material, double the time. But
Yeah,
it
you would think.
took way
Because
longer.
it's bigger
times
in all
more.
sorts. It's not just twice as tall.
Yeah, it's bigger everywhere.
Bigger girth.
Bigger girth. Take you longer.
Yeah.
Never underestimate the girth.
Yeah.
Never.
Always use that rule of 8. If you want it bigger, well, that'll cost 8 times as much. It doesn't matter what the context is.
That's
That'll
why
always work.
the difference between a small pizza and a large pizza.
Yeah.
It's 8 times.
8 times.
8 times.
Yeah, that's an $80 pizza. Sorry.
You want it big though.
So you want 8 smalls. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
not scalable like that. You can't just go, oh, I want it twice as big as twice as much. No.
No, it's 8 times.
8
as big.
times as much.
I've got to use 8 times as much pepperoni.
Yeah.
And that shit ain't cheap.
That's shit. What do you think I'm made of pepperoni?
I'm not. I'm a man.
I've checked.
It's just somebody just having a meltdown in a pizza shop. What do you think I am? Made of pepperoni?
Certainly I'm not.
no
I don't
one-
know who you've been talking to.
No one
But that
said
is not true.
Ask my wife. What? I just want a pizza.
Look here, pepperoni man. Oh, that's it.
I told you about the time that I tried to order a toasted cheese sandwich at a pizza shop on Lygon Street. It had on the wall, toasted cheese sandwiches available. And I said, can I have a cheese and tomato sandwich? And the guy goes, you'll have a margarita pizza. And I was like,
You'll have one.
yeah. And I went, no, can I have a toasted cheese sandwich? He goes, you'll have a margarita pizza. And I said one more time. He goes, you'll have a margarita. And I went, okay, I guess I'm having a margarita pizza.
You go,
Well,
bitch.
if you're asking for a cheese and tomato toasted sandwich, you're essentially asking for a
Yeah.
margarita pizza.
I think that he may not have had bread or something, but he didn't bother communicating that to me.
Yeah.
He was like, this is the closest thing. You should
Yeah.
have this.
You
What
like
is it?
cheese, you like tomato, you like bread.
It
Yeah.
felt so threatening.
Yeah, that's
Basically
very
a
strange.
calzone, Georgie boy.
Had a good one of those in Italy.
course you did.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
You're in
Can I just
Italy.
say?
Delish.
You went to Italy and you had a calzone.
I did.
Did you get up towards the Swiss-Italian border?
Not close enough.
You didn't get to Gudo?
I didn't get to Gudo.
Oh my god. Did you travel?
What was the point?
If you didn't get to Gudo.
Population of like 17 people.
Oh, okay. You didn't visit Gudo.
It's on my list.
Some Euro trip.
Did you
Yeah.
say that? Is that your 8th wonder of the world? Gudo.
Gudo, if I'm remembering that right. Gudo.
With this wonder, the 6th wonder is commonly depicted in art as straddling the entrance to Rhodes Harbour, with ships sailing between the legs.
Oh, that's hot.
According to... Yeah, don't look up.
There's seamen traveling between the legs. Are you serious? Come on.
Come on, grow up.
Grow up.
Grow up, ancient people.
Grow up.
Grow up.
You disgust me.
You disgust me.
Grow up. That's my Joe Biden. Mate. Grow up.
Joe Biden meets Jerry Seinfeld. So according to Britannica, it's technically possible that the statue could have straddled the harbour entrance, and the popular belief that it did so only dates from the Middle Ages. But other sources say it couldn't have possibly stood there. People say it's impossible.
Okay.
But Britannica says
It's impossible.
it's impossible. That design feature could explain why it stood for the shortest amount of time of all the ancient wonders, only lasting 56 years.
Ah.
It was toppled by an earthquake in 226 BCE, snapping it at the knees.
Ooh.
And then it just fell over.
Ow.
Oops. It was foretold by an oracle that if it was to be rebuilt, Rhodes would suffer a great misfortune, so it was left in ruins.
Because of a fortune teller.
However, it was still an attraction to see even the remains on the ground. That's how big it was. Just its thumb was apparently bigger than most statues of the day, and people couldn't physically get their arms around the thumb.
That's fun.
That's funny, isn't
That
it?
is fun.
Sometimes the things that didn't quite go right are more fun as
Yeah.
an attraction anyway, right? Like, who gives a fuck about the Tower of Pizza if it's not a
Yeah, it's just a
little leany?
tower.
Yeah, that's true. Just be a tower.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Like, whatever.
I don't think we would have heard of it.
Why did I get on the train to see this? I feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Fool.
Where's the closest Irish pub?
Yeah. But if you're able to pose next to it,
Yeah.
looking like you're pushing it
That's
over or holding it
fun.
up.
That is fun.
Using perspective tricks to make it look like you're boning a model.
I only look like I was having sex with this tower.
Yeah, making it look like that's your penis. That's fun.
That's fun.
That is fun. It's
It's
undeniably
It's a little
fun.
bent.
That's objectively
Yeah.
fun.
Often humor is subjective, not in this case.
Not in this case. That is objectively
That's a
fun.
100% hit rate.
Yeah.
Everyone's laughing.
Everyone's
Find me
laughing.
any person who doesn't find that hilarious.
Let's bring it down. That's my closer.
I reckon that should be the robot test on computers.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
a robot? Just say, is this funny?
Yeah, yeah,
Robots don't get it.
Yep.
They'll be stumped.
Yeah.
Humans go, I'm chuckling.
And you're like,
Tick.
there it is. Boom. Human.
Humanity confirmed.
Yeah.
So it lay on the ground in ruins until the 9th century AD, when the remaining bronze was taken away by Arabic forces to be melted down. Sucks.
Fucking hell.
Apparently it took 980 camels to carry it all away.
980.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of camels.
There's a lot of camels.
That's a lot of camels.
There's a lot of camels in any book.
Where do you get so many
Not in the
camels?
Australian outback.
Oh, actually,
That's
no,
a drop
you're
in the
right.
fucking ocean.
Yeah.
How many we got?
You get, it'd be easy to put a camel
got
through the eye of
990?
a needle than,
We got 990 up there?
yeah, add a couple of zeros.
990. Hang on. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Okay.
just give her a minute. Do you need a paper and pen?
Yeah.
I'm coming. That's what that lady was doing. She was doing the camel sums.
But you just don't understand American
American
manners. Kindness.
The same woman the next night when I went down to the lobby to check what time checkout was, she was checking out with her 3 friends. They were all at the front doing the business. She was standing at the back with her phone going, "Oh, I just got an email asking if I can play golf on Thursday." I guess I could play golf on Thursday, just announcing it to the lobby. So good. Like, I was just nodding like, I care.
I love her.
That's fun.
was
I'm a
so
big fan
fun.
too. That feels like you're traveling. If that was an Australian, I would have found them to be a nightmare.
100%.
Because they're American or from anywhere else, to a point, I'd be like,
What a fun character.
this is a character I'm glad I've bumped into you.
Yeah, yeah,
If it's
yeah.
an Australian, I'm like, fuck.
Oh, I'm so
You are
embarrassed.
insufferable and you're a shame on our nation.
It was so good. Just announcing at golf plans
Yeah.
to no one.
Yes, I could play golf.
I'd be like, is there
Where
room
we
for one
playing?
more?
Yeah. Whereabouts are you going to be on Thursday? I'll be there too.
1 million feral camels in Australia.
Phew, you're gonna have to add a couple more zeros.
Yeah, we're going to have to add a few zeros.
What do you mean, like 100 million? What are you guys talking about?
In 2008, plans to rebuild a modern Colossus on roads were announced at a cost of 250 million euros.
Oof.
This time, they wanted it to be 5 times higher at 150 meters plus the base.
It makes sense. Like if you're going to, you wouldn't make it to the same size because it wouldn't be as impressive.
No, it's not impressive
by modern
anymore.
standards because we've got a Rialto now.
Exactly. I was going to say for scale, it's the Statue of Liberty is 93 meters, including the base, so it's 1.5 Statue of Liberties.
Yeah, right.
It's big time.
Yeah.
You've hit the big time.
She's puny.
Yeah.
Who
but,
cares?
But also half a Rialto. so
Still
probably-
half a Rialto.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So the Rialto's 300 meters.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Is
sure I
it?
read that.
Bloody hell.
I
How
don't-
tall's the fucking Eiffel Tower? That's got to be bigger. Is that
Oh
bigger than
man,
the Rialto?
I lied to you. It's 250 meters. I'm so
Oh my
sorry.
god.
Oh no.
I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed.
And you sure you're not talking about the little bit? Please, Dave.
Just a little bit.
Don't do this to us.
Okay, it's 270 with the antenna spire.
Well,
We'll take those antennas.
I'll
We'll
take
take those
now.
antennas.
In this case, I think the antenna has merit.
Yeah.
You were
Very
my-
important part.
Do you say Rialto Spire? Look, what I said before about spires, that's about those buildings.
Yeah.
The Rialto has the rules of its own.
Yep.
It's such an. You should do a report on it. It was the tallest office building in the Southern Hemisphere when it was constructed. That's impressive.
That's
And that lasted like 3 years. I
So good.
I bang on about the Rialto because I find it very funny that when I was a kid, teachers and stuff were kind of proud of it.
yeah.
So that's kind of my bit I'm doing over a long period
It's
of
not a
time.
bit. We love
It's
the
Not a
very
bit.
fun.
When I say a bit, not a bit.
Yeah.
Certainly not a bit.
No,
but I did a TikTok early on about it, and someone commented something like, "Yeah, this fact still isn't interesting." I don't think
TikTok
it-
is a good place for feedback. They're kind and definitely not assholes. It's great.
That's good stuff.
Love it.
for the
This
most
is
part, I have a
still
nice
not
time.
interesting. Love that.
Something like that. I'm like, oh, I don't know, mate. I know you can never tell if they're in on they're
Yeah.
with you or
They're
not.
never with you.
And by commenting, they have ensured that the algorithm will show more videos of you to this person.
Fantastic.
So it was planned in 2008. They were going to make this new Colossus. According to The Guardian writing in 2008, the new Colossus will be a tourist attraction with shops, cafes, a museum and a library, and will also act as a lighthouse.
Oh, so just put a big light on the top.
Yeah.
And but imagine the toes are all different shops.
Oh, that's great.
That's nice.
Let's
So-
get Homer Simpson to design this Colossus. You know, it could have everything. Have a TV in the belly.
Well,
What are the shops though? What are the toe shops? One of them could be one of those toenail shops where they do your toenails.
Pedicures.
Pedicures.
And only pedicures.
And then one of the fingers could be
manicures.
manicures.
Yes.
wow. And then
Love
one of the
that.
other fingers could sell chicken fingers.
That's good.
One of them could be like a ring shop.
One of the toes could sell only toasties.
Oh, that's
good. And one of the other fingers could sell fish fingers.
Oh,
Yes.
that's good. And one of the other toes could
Toe
take
rings.
sell toe rings.
Toe rings. So it's actually quite annoying because you have to go, if you wanted a mani and a pedi, you have to go to 2 different shops.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
want some jewelry, you have to go to multiple
But
different places.
that's a cultural thing.
But you can
Yeah.
stop with some fish fingers on the
Exactly
way.
right. Sustenance.
You get a photo in one of the
That's
the
good.
toes. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I think we should send an email.
Toblerone.
Toblerone.
Oh, now
Toads.
you're talking.
Yes.
My
Goodbye,
Swiss ears are
toads.
pricking up there, Dave. Toads.
Toes.
Toadfish Rebecca, you could have a signing stall there.
Yes, a permanent signing stall.
Now that Neighbours is off the
He's got
air,
the time.
he's got the time.
He's got the time.
That's good.
Anyway, Dave, do go on, I reckon.
Well, it's actually pretty. This is still from The Guardian. Helios's, remember the gods, skin will be made of solar panels, and state of the art computer technology will ensure it never falls again. And you're wondering, what happened to this statue? Well, the project was shelved after the GFC and Greece's subsequent economic collapse.
Okay. But they might pick it up again.
Exactly. I think they're doing better economically now, so maybe they will spend 250 million euros on this statue.
Oh, I would. If that's all I had in the bank, That would be perfect.
The government just goes all in.
All in,
God,
yeah.
imagine how sad it would be if all you had in the bank was $250 million.
Oh, that would be pretty grim.
That'd be so.
That would be sad,
I'd
but
be
I've
like,
got
how do I
250
pay
million
rent?
euros.
How am
the
I going
thing
to feed
is-
myself?
But once you build that statue, that's going to generate cash.
Yeah, it's an investment.
A lot of manis, a lot of petties.
Yeah.
A lot of toe rings, a lot of finger rings.
Yep.
You got everything going on there that
That's
you want.
right.
You got photos. of
Toadfish Rebecca.
Toadfish Rebecca's there. This is, you may as well, one of the fingers may as well be printing its own money because
They moved the mint up there.
I think the Greeks, they'd be crazy not to
Yeah.
just go all in. Borrow the money.
Yeah.
You don't got it yet.
Borrow it.
Borrow it.
You're going to be good for it.
Yeah.
In no time.
Yeah.
For sure. The belly button's a button shop.
Nah.
Oh. Well,
Who would go to a button shop? You know what I mean?
That's a good
If
point.
anything, the belly button needs to be a haberdashery with a button section, sure. But just buttons, Dave,
Yeah.
they'll close in a week.
everyone needs buttons.
When's the last time you went and bought buttons? Yeah, that's right. Get on with your report, button boy.
I love buttons. I'm anti-zip, pro-button. Well, we finally arrived at the final wonder on our ancient tour, the Lighthouse of Alexandria. We're back where it all began in Egypt. The lighthouse was located on a small island called Pharos, near the city of Alexandria. It was completed in the same year as the Colossus, 280 BC, and has been described as the archetype of all subsequent lighthouses.
Wow. 280 BC, obviously a big year for big things.
Wonders. The lighthouse was commissioned by the first Ptolemy, the Greek general who stayed behind to rule after Alexander the Great conquered Egypt. Shortly after, Ptolemy declared himself pharaoh in 305 BCE.
We've talked about Ptolemy, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Cleopatra was from the Ptolemaic dynasty.
That's right.
The last one.
Jess, what the hell? I thought we were together on not remembering anything.
I remembered something.
That's a great-
Why? Okay, hang on.
I feel really left
finally
out here.
remembered something and you got mad at me for
Yeah.
it. Rather than celebrating my victory.
I just saw you looking at me in your rearview mirror.
You were waiting.
You're waiting.
Bye.
Jess, don't leave me out back here.
No.
Ptolemy, what the fuck are you talking about?
Sorry, buddy. You're going to have to remember something.
Taking 33 years to complete, it stood over 3 levels, each smaller than the last. The lowest part was square, the next octagonal, and the top was cylindrical. In total, it was 350 feet or 110 meters tall, making for centuries its second only in height to the Great Pyramid. Second comes right after first. This also means if it stood today, 2,300 years later, it would still be the tallest conventional lighthouse in the world.
Oh, wow.
So they haven't topped it.
Does it look like, the round the twist lighthouse, the classic sort of lighthouse?
It's more because it's bigger. It's got the 3 parts. It's like a big bit
Right.
at the bottom, smaller bit, and then the basically the round the twist bits on top of 2 platforms.
That's fun.
Its light was provided by a fire burning close to the top every night, and incredibly, the light could be seen at a distance of 50 miles.
What? That's a big fire.
A broad spiral ramp led to the top that was said to have been wide enough for donkeys and carts to carry wood all the way up.
How did the donkey get back down? They're going to go backwards?
They threw the donkey in the fire and they started again.
That's the worst part about going to the top of lighthouses. There's always a fairly rickety ladder.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I'm good, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this sounds like this one will burn down.
Yeah, that was my guess also.
Let's find out. In the Middle Ages, the beacon at the top was replaced with a small mosque by a sultan. The lighthouse was severely damaged by 3 earthquakes between 956 and 1323 AD and became an abandoned ruin. And in 1477, a fort was built from the ruins.
Wow.
So no fire.
So instead of a light for a while, there was a mosque. How does that stop ships hitting the shore?
I guess they were like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, right. They're just like, ships are just crashing.
Yeah.
They were like, this is a cool place for a mosque. Really, the tallest building for ages.
It's a cool place for a mosque.
It's cool.
I'll tell you that for nothing.
Beautiful.
So after being lost for centuries, some of the ruins were rediscovered on the floor of Alexandria's harbour in 1994.
Wow.
And it's possible for divers to visit these ruins today. The discovery was made when the government was planning to build a breakwater and just wanted to check if there was anything down there, as you have to do in Egypt because they have so much history. And having discovered that, they abandoned the idea of the breakwater. And my final fact on the Lighthouse of Alexandria, it was so celebrated in the ancient world that Pharos, the island it stood on, became the Greek word for lighthouse, as well as in many other languages, including French, where it's called fair, Italian and Spanish, faro, Portuguese, farol, and even Swedish, fear, and Bulgarian, far. So that's why
Those are the words for lighthouse?
for lighthouse in
And we
those
call
languages.
it lighthouse.
We call it something
I
different.
actually do like lighthouse.
It's actually quite a cool name.
yeah, I
isn't
like it.
But yeah, basically everywhere else in the world, they named it after this thing.
Wow, cool.
Everywhere else in the world.
He just named a bunch of places.
There's a lot of languages.
Everywhere else, Dave.
Oh my god.
Basically everywhere else.
Basically.
Okay,
Okay.
he's grumpy because I remembered something. It's all right. Let him act out. It's how he's expressing his
basically
feelings.
everywhere else in the world, yeah. I've named 7 places,
Yeah.
all within a small vicinity. I've been to Europe, says Dave. I know
Yeah.
that's the whole world now.
Yeah, you get him.
There's a couple other continents going about the place, Dave.
Name one.
Well, don't put me on the spot.
So that's the 7 ancient wonders of the world. Just to recap, if you cross-check those dates, the Colossus of Rhodes was the last of the 7 to be completed just after 280 BC, and also the first to be destroyed when it snapped in 226. As such, all 7 wonders existed at the same time for a period of less than 60 years.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you consider that when the second one came along, the pyramids were already 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
Such a small...
Dave, can I request you do a follow-up episode about the modern wonders of the world?
Well, I've actually got some facts about it right now.
Okay. Jeez, he works quick.
He's good. I don't know how he does it.
The new 7 Wonders of the World was a campaign started in 2000 by a Swiss foundation to choose wonders of the world from a selection of 200 existing monuments.
Marvel Stadium. How many Melbourne ones? I assume Melbourne probably have 5 or 6 of
How many
them.
Melbourne stadiums?
MCG is probably in there.
Melbourne Town Hall. It's quite a beautiful building.
Yeah. Shrine of Remembrance kind of looks like one of the old ones.
Flinders Street Station.
That McDonald's in an old Art Deco bank in Clifton Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love that one.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's a beautiful Macca's.
It's actually quite a good
Love that
McDonald's.
one. There's a good ANZ on Collins Street in a beautiful
Can we?
building.
We're going to put forward for the Australian pitch. We're putting forward a beautiful ANZ bank.
One of the big 4.
So this is in 2000. More than 100 million votes were cast on the internet or by text
Wow.
messages. And it actually took 7 years to announce the results in 2007. So they started in 2000, announced in 2007. At a guess, can you guess any of the 7?
Eiffel Tower.
That's got to be in there.
It's not there.
Whoa. Statue of Liberty.
Not there.
What? Well, sure, is it pyramids or the Sphinx or something? It's
Well,
gotta
the
be
Great
there.
Pyramid was honoured as the 8th wonder as it still stands.
Okay.
So they gave that honorary mention. But there's 7 others.
Uluru.
No, that
That's
would be
a
a great
natural.
natural
Niagara
wonder.
Falls.
These are
Oh, these are the man-made
man-made
ones.
These are
ones.
all human-made,
I
yes.
wasn't listening.
The moon.
Earth itself. Beat that. Beat that idea.
Hey, prove to me that's not man-made.
Oh, good
I
point.
can't prove it to you, mate.
Okay, the fucking Empire State Building or something. What
No.
is on there?
I'll give you the list. The Taj Mahal,
Taj Mahal.
Okay,
India.
that's pretty impressive.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
the Colosseum.
Leaning Tower of Pizza.
No.
No, because
Pisa.
they've already got the Colosseum.
Yeah, Colosseum.
Italy can't have 2.
Chichen Itza in Mexico,
Ooh.
which is also another type of pyramid.
Ah.
I don't know. Wow.
know.
Do I know
Chichen
Chichen
Itza.
Itza? That's weird.
Machu Picchu in Peru.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
Yep, that's fair.
The ruin.
Yep. Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil.
Yes.
Petra in Jordan. Do you know Petra, the
Is that another
city
big
that's
Jesus?
carved into
Oh,
rock?
yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yes. Thank you. Yep.
And the Great Wall of China.
Okay,
Damn it,
yeah.
of course. It was right there.
Those are pretty good, I guess. Probably a little more impressive than just like a building.
See, but the
Yeah.
results were actually quite controversial. The poll was considered unscientific partly because it was possible for people to cast multiple votes.
Right.
Right.
According to wikipedia.org, which I assume is a Seven Wonders of the World based website.
Great.
Some countries touted their finalists and tried to get more votes cast for it, while others downplayed or criticised the contest.
Okay.
For example, Brazil. No offense to Christ the Redeemer, I was a bit surprised at its inclusion. It's the youngest selection. It was unveiled in 1923.
Yeah, but it's big.
It's big. Fantastic. The biggest Art Deco statue in the world. Love a bit of deco, but I was kind of surprised by it. Mm-hmm. In Brazil, there was a campaign called Vote No Cristo, which sounds like they're against it, but really that translates to Vote for the Christ, which had the support of private companies, namely telecommunications operators, that stopped charging voters to make telephone calls and SMS messages to vote. Everyone in Rio also got a text asking them to vote.
Right.
Likewise, in
Wow.
Peru, an intensive campaign led by the Peruvian Ministry of Commerce and Tourism had a great impact in the media, and consequently, Peruvian people voted massively for its national wonder, Chichen Itza.
Yeah, it's tricky because you go,
Sorry.
a panel should have done it, but then, you know, that it would be equally easily corruptible, right? How do you pick it otherwise?
True. I said Chichen Itza, I meant Machu Picchu, with apologies.
I'm having a look at Chichen Itza. That's
Yeah, I do
awesome.
recognise it. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yes,
good.
I saw that one in Mexico when I went there, and it is really
It's
cool.
incredible. I've seen lots of pictures of it.
I thought maybe we could do a little online poll ourselves, because that's not very scientific. We could do a new Seven Wonders of the
Oh,
world.
that's a great idea.
Okay.
Maybe do some voting on Twitter.
I'm pushing for Rialto.
I think we could get it in there. We'd have to pick. We did one of those bracket tournaments. If we picked 32, it would
Great.
come down. We'd get a top 8, and then we could have a playoff
Yeah.
to see who doesn't make it.
Love it.
Wow.
Yeah, we
Okay.
get Josh Earl involved.
Josh Earl, he's the master of the online Twitter tournaments.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm down. So maybe first we need to get suggestions. We'll get a Twitter list going.
Yeah,
with
what should be in the top 32? These are the other finalists of the top 20.
We could call it the what you pick you or something.
Fucking hell, that's good.
I didn't know what way you were
kidding
going.
me?
What you pick you?
Are you kidding me? How dare you? That's so good. You fucking piece of shit. That is so good.
Everyone has a good idea once in a while, don't they? And I've done it.
Hey, a broken clock's right twice a day.
What you pick you?
Oh,
what you pick you?
Fuck, that's
Yeah.
good.
God, you're amazing.
That's so good. Somebody make that. I'm going to sell that as a sticker. That's good shit.
What you pick you? God, that's good.
God, he's good.
No, he can't be stopped. I mean, it's definitely a pun, but good
What?
stuff. That's good stuff.
That's a pun?
Well, whether you intended it or not. The other finalists were the Acropolis in Greece, the Alhambra in Spain, Angkor Wat in Cambodia, the Moai statues of Easter Island.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's-
yeah.
They're
wow.
really cool.
Oh, yeah, incredible.
The Eiffel Tower, the Hagia Sophia Grand Mosque in Turkey, the Kiyomizu Temple in Japan, the Kremlin in Russia, the Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany. I think that's the one that inspired Disney. Pyramids of Giza, Statue of Liberty, Stonehenge,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
which is like
yeah.
awesome. That's as
How
old.
old is
that's
that?
as old as some of the original
Oh, wow.
wonders. Sydney Opera House
Yeah.
and Timbuktu in Mali.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, a lot of good options there. Ooh, that's tricky. I love the what's that in the? Is it in St. Petersburg or Moscow or something? Those sort of bulbous buildings.
Oh, St. Basil's,
Oh, they're sick.
which is also the best name for
Put 'em. I'd have them on my long list at the very least.
I'd have the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Oh,
The
put
bridge is
on.
great.
I love that
What a
bridge.
beautiful
Would you
bridge.
put that above the Opera House?
Yeah, I would, personally, because it's higher up
It's taller.
and bigger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would put that above it, actually, because it does actually sit
Size doesn't
amazing.
matter when it
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
to suggest
Like if
opinions
you're
on wonders.
on top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. You are actually above the Opera House
Yeah.
That's amazing.
in terms of height. It's
Oh,
pretty cool, actually.
okay.
Yeah.
But also spiritually?
Yes.
Thank you. My final thought. I'm surprised no one's brought it up. The Fleetwood Mac song from Tango in the Night.
If you wanna see seven wonders.
Yeah.
You know
that song?
Only very vaguely.
I don't know that one.
Didn't we record a podcast that's been unreleased about the Tango in the Night album, Matt?
Did we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
We did the Bruce Springsteen one.
Or maybe we were
and
going
we were
to
going
record
to.
one.
I don't know where that is.
Well, it was good fun. And I remember listening to the album for it. So Seven Wonders is a 1987 Fleetwood Mac song from Tango in the Night.
Got it.
Last album with their classic, most famous lineup.
That's a bit of a spoiler for Listen Now fans. Forget he said that.
Yeah, forget that.
That may or may not be coming up in a couple of episodes.
I've often wondered what the hell. So it's sung by Stevie Nicks. What she's saying at the start. She says, "So long ago, certain place, certain time, you touched my hand on the way down to Emmeline."
Okay.
I didn't know what that meant. I looked it up. According to Wiki, it's also a Fleetwood Mac website.
Wow.
It's quite
covers
niche.
a lot.
Actually, no, it's the Seven Wonders website, and they've just got an article on this
makes
song.
way
So
more
that makes sense. According to Wiki, Sandy Stewart, who is not a member of Fleetwood Mac, wrote the song, recorded a demo, and sent it to band member Stevie Nicks without a lyric sheet, so she could just hear the lyrics. Nicks misheard one of the lines in the first verse as "all the way down to Emmeline," a contribution that gave her a writing credit alongside Stewart.
I'm mishearing. Yeah. That feels right.
Nicks later said, "I had become so attached to the name Emmeline that we kept it in, and she gave me a small percentage."
I know Sandy.
Wow.
Okay.
Just
So
like-
what was it supposed to be? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
On the way down to Kevin Federline.
Yes. That makes more sense.
K-Fed. I don't know who that is, but I remember the name.
Married to Britney
Britney's-
Spears.
Britney's ex.
It's probably a dog. It's probably a low dog.
Well, on that note,
You leave Brittany alone. Kevin Fedline.
that brings us to the end of my report on the 7 ancient wonders of the world.
Well done, Dave. Good to have you back.
Good to be back and
Back with
nerding
a
out.
bang.
Nerding out about old stuff. I love.
Hey, Dave, can I make a quick request now that you've just whipped through the modern ones? What about 7 natural wonders of the world? Can you do that as a future topic?
That sounds good.
Anyone who wants that to happen, suggest it into the hat and then you have your name read out. But mention me as well. Say your name and my name when it says to put
Because
your
you
name
suggested it.
Because we suggested it. I want Dave to read out my name.
Well, that'd be nice. I
Yeah.
never thought about that.
That'd be so
I'm looking
nice.
it up here. Look, I'm not going to read any out, but looks like Australia might get a mention. Don't. No,
Yeah,
The
Dick
Rialto?
Graves. It's just an alleyway. We're like,
Wonder, because people are like, Rialto must have been built in the 80s. No, it just appeared one
It
day.
appeared.
Yeah. Fully formed.
again, on top of a primary school. We're like, what the fuck?
Oh, the kids have been crushed.
Where do I drop my kids off for school?
Bruno Grollo said, "And now let there be Rialto," and it just
Appeared.
rose out of the
It's
ground.
very cool,
Yeah.
actually.
So
God, I wish
does that
I'd
mean
been there.
If it rises, the school's still on top.
On
Your
top.
school's still on
That's
top.
the spire.
That's the nipple.
It's a school. It is inaccessible.
Yeah. And the kids are still up there.
Well,
Screaming out.
their bones are.
Because they're old now.
Yeah, old and bony.
If they were born in probably the 70s.
Imagine.
Impossible.
Well, that brings us to everyone's favourite section of the show where we get to spend a little bit of time thanking and appreciating our fantastic Patreon supporters. And if you want to get involved with them, you can go to patreon.com/togoonpod, and there's a bunch of different levels. What are some of the things you can get there, Jess?
You get 3 bonus episodes a month. You get access to a Facebook group, which is the loveliest place on the internet. You get to vote on topics, and you just get to sleep well at night. If you
Oh,
don't sleep well,
finally.
join the Patreon.
Finally.
I've really got to join the Patreon to
Mate,
help
you
with
got to
that.
get some sleep.
That's right. Well, the first thing we normally like to do is the Fat Corridor question section of
That's right.
the show.
That's right,
right,
Jess.
Jess.
And just for $9.95, that could be yours.
Thanks, Belvedere. So, Jess, this first section, Fat Corridor question section, that's when people who sign up on the Sydney Scheinberg level get to give us a Fat Corridor question. They also get to give themselves a nickname or a title. But I think this section of the show has a little jingle, goes something like this.
Fact, quote, or question.
He always remembers the ding.
See, it's like I sing it, but you get the praise every time. Oh, he always remembers the ding. I fucking sing it.
Yeah.
I always remember the sing. How about that?
She always remembers the sing.
Thank you.
That's good. Okay.
like
I don't know. People want this section to be shorter, and we keep finding ways to add more things in it. And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that being a feminist is taking too much of your time.
Hey, but I'll do the feminizing here. Jess, I'm lifting you up, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Remember that.
Thank you for lifting me up.
Shh, Jess, I'm trying to lift you up over here. The first one we got this week comes from Kat Goot, who has the title of Senior Executive of Having a Dog is My Entire Personality. And Kat is asking a question. Kat writes, "Hi guys, I have a question for each of you all to answer about yourselves. Hopefully it hasn't been asked before. So, what do you think is your most toxic trait?"
We get asked this all the time.
Yeah. Surely it's obvious by now.
This is Kat's first time in the Fat Quarter question section, so I will forgive them for not answering their own question.
Oh, okay.
Which is
I was going to ask if
what I would say is only polite. But Kat, sure, you didn't know.
I can only assume that means Kat's perfect.
Yeah, that's true too. Kat doesn't answer her own question once, full on me.
Mm-hmm.
Kat doesn't do it twice. Kat doesn't get fooled again.
Can't get fooled again. That's got to be one of the stupidest things any human being has ever.
Man, I love it so
points it
much.
very well.
I love
I can't
it so
get fooled
much.
again.
Can't get fooled again.
George W. Bush.
As time's gone on, and put all the politics to one side, I've really gained a respect for some of just these wild, sort of like, I think the quips aren't on purpose, but they're so fun.
Yeah. Can't get fooled again.
Can't get fooled again. Now watch this drive.
Now watch this drive. That's the best.
I mean, yeah, putting the politics to one side. I know some people out there, I reckon 50% of our audience are big George W. fans. 50% probably can't stand him.
Yeah.
There's no in the middle anymore.
Absolutely not. No.
So I'm putting that all to one side.
You love or you hate the guy.
But we can agree.
Yes.
Jeez, he said some funny things.
Not on purpose, but very funny. Can't get fooled again.
Might be my favorite comedian of all time.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Toxic trait.
yeah.
Well, I don't have one.
No, Jess doesn't have one. Dave, you've got a few. What's your number one?
Yeah. Cruelty.
Kicking dogs.
Kicking
and
dogs.
kids.
Cruelty to animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cruelty to
Cruelty
animals.
to humans. Sadism.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your number one though? You got to rank them. It's
yeah.
hard to pick a favorite.
It
You're a real
really
bad
is. It's
boy.
like choosing between children. To kick.
Which do I kick?
Which one? Which kick
But
first?
here's the thing. You can kick them both.
A bit of a jealous person.
Are you?
Can be.
Oh, okay. Are you jealous of me?
Yes, I'm jealous of those glasses.
Yeah, they're pretty
They
good.
look better on you than mine look on me.
you
So,
want
yes,
See, my toxic trait, I'm too giving.
too giving.
I'm treating this like a job interview. I'm too perfect. I spend too much time at work.
If
Maybe
anything,
some-
I'm too punctual.
Yeah.
I spend too much time, like trying to be likable or telling people what they want to hear. Sometimes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Wait, what you do is this is you being likable.
I'm too agreeable. I said sometimes to my detriment, my own detriment, and also other people's. It's like, it's just got to be honest sometimes.
Yeah, just say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely not your toxic trait, Bob. You're a great no person.
No, I'm not. But you think I am, and
Just
now.
because you're better at it than me, maybe.
But now I'm like, I don't want to let you down. So I'm like, I better say no to some stuff. Better say no to some great opportunities. I've been offered
you did
the
that
prime
recently.
ministership,
Oh wow!
and
Wow.
I said nah.
You
bitch.
said no to performing stand up at Splendor. Mm-hmm. That was something you're like, I don't think I want to do it, so you didn't do it.
That's right.
Whereas,
Because a good friend of mine was planning it, knew I was anxious, said, "Do you want to do it? It's okay to say no." And I said, "No, thank you."
that's how it helps when you know it's okay to say no.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If it was
that's a good friend.
If he just messaged and said, "Hey, you've got a 10-minute spot on Saturday," I would have
You're
said,
right.
"Fantastic, thank you so much."
Okay.
Can't wait.
Right. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
What about your horrifying odor?
Is that it now? Is that a toxic trait?
It smells
to
toxic.
others. Oh, if we're talking odors, yeah, that's my toxic trait.
Top
also.
5 worst odors.
Yeah, the pits, my armpits,
Armpits.
are probably one of my most toxic.
My toxic trait is waiting too long to ask for help and then saying, "I'll just do it myself anyway," and then
That's
resenting
good.
everybody because nobody
Yeah.
helped me. But I didn't properly ask or ever ask, but they were supposed to know.
All right,
I'm
here's
talking about my dog. He just never picks up his own shit.
Come on, dog.
Come on. Help your mother out.
one of my toxic traits is talking over Jess for sure. But I've just Googled
Toxic traits.
classic toxic traits.
Yep.
See if any of these ring any bells. This is the first thing that came up. Thevillagefamily.org. Manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
They use knowledge they gain about you to try and get you to do what they want.
Yep, you do that.
They make you feel bad about yourself.
Yep, all the time. You're always telling me that I'm great at things, you like that I say no to stuff. I'm a great host. Like you make
Yeah,
me
we
feel,
get your sarcasm, man.
make me feel like a real piece of shit.
Being judgmental.
Yes, you are incredibly judgmental. You're always like, no, I don't need any perspective. Fuck that guy. That's you.
Negativity.
Oh, God. Insufferable to be around.
Self-centered. That rolls right along. Difficulty managing their anger and controlling. They're
Yes.
big ones. I don't think either of you have any of those.
Thank you.
I
I've
was-
hidden them well.
It made me think. Made me think of one, and I've already forgotten it. Oh, being like, not being sincere enough. Like, I think I'm real bad at just getting into this mode of everything sarcastic, and I can't stop sometimes. And I know it's happening, and I just get into the habit of it, and I can't stop. And I imagine that would be infuriating to be around. A knowing nod.
No, I'm sorry. That did seem like I was like, yeah, Matt.
No, I know.
But
Well,
I'm talking about the person that I live with is the same.
Oh, right.
And we have many conversations about sometimes you can just answer my question.
Yeah, I think just because of the Beer Pioneer shoot, that was 3 weeks away with a few other people, and I'm like, as it went along, I'm like, I can just answer questions.
Yeah, I gotta
not
get out of
everything's a
this.
fucking bit, and yeah. But yeah, I wish I had more. I don't read these, so I read them out. Cat's the first time I hear, even though Cat Goot's a long time friend of the show.
I mean, and I also think we answered it quite genuinely as
Okay,
well,
great.
because there's like I think probably what Kat's getting at is that, on the internet at the moment, people talking about their toxic traits, and it's like thinking I can carry all the groceries at once.
Oh,
And we're here
yeah.
like, I don't know, I guess like.
Oh, okay. Do
yeah.
we misread this?
I
No, I think
definitely.
we answered the question.
I mean, I also do that.
Yeah.
I'll try for a one trip with all
Yeah.
the groceries. No bags, thanks. I'll just. I
got it.
I'll hug these. I got a few pockets.
I got it.
I think that watermelon should fit in my back pocket.
Should be all good.
Thank you, Kat, though. Love that question. Next time, Kat, give us an answer as well. We want to know about you.
Yeah, I suppose that also maybe would have set the tone for if it was a silly one or I manipulate everyone I meet.
Yeah.
Jacob Lane is next up, who's given himself the title of The Kids Call Me Hoju.
The kids can call you Hoju.
Because Jacob Lane used to be our Simpsons auditor.
Yeah, that's right.
But that must have become a burden
Oh,
pretty
God,
quick.
absolutely.
I think it must have.
We weren't paying him much.
And
And that, I mean, nothing.
I think we also, I feel like we've dropped way off on the Simpsons quotes as well.
Yeah, they come and go. They ebb and flow.
Yeah. But that's a good one. The kids call me Hoju. Jacob also has a question writing, I'm in Melbourne in December to see Tism, of course. Dave and I will also be
We'll
there,
be there, Jacob. Let's hang.
And I was wondering if you guys have any suggestions of anything else for me to do while I'm there.
Wow.
Like going to an Irish pub, for example.
Yeah, there's a few. Elephant and Wheelbarrow on Burke.
Well, that's more of a British pub, Jess. I mean, I don't know why you're trying to give Jacob the bum steer here. Yes, Irish pubs.
Irish pubs are for me. I don't know nobody else in my Irish
Yeah,
pub.
you can go to the
get
British
out of
ones,
my
you
Irish
dog.
Pub. Well, obviously, Jacob, you've got to enjoy the coffee and the laneways.
What's a? Is there any? Because you're a coffee fan. What's a place you should go? What if you were going to go experience good coffee? Are the ones at the United service stations, are they as good as people say?
Yeah, absolutely. Not as good as a 7-Eleven, obviously.
Or Jack's Cafe at Hungry Jack's?
Jack's Cafe, they are pretty good. We have a thing over here, Jacob, I don't know if you've heard of it, McCafe.
Oh, yeah, McCafe.
They're everywhere.
Was that Scottish?
Yes. Yeah.
Way back when we did the McDonald's episode, I forget who did it, but there was a fact that I found interesting. I think Australia was the first one to have McCafes.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe it's still the only ones, I don't know.
No, I think they're elsewhere now, but they started here.
That's a funny fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do in Melbourne? Is that what the question? What do you do in Melbourne?
What if you were traveling? And I know Jacob, I believe, is from Perth.
Go to the museum. The museum's cool.
Yeah, you should if you've been watching, especially if you've been watching our Artifact series.
Yeah.
Go check out any of those, Heidi or the NGV.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great and free.
Go have a beer with Chloe at Young and
Yeah,
Jackson.
do that. That's cool. But yeah, there's like the Melbourne Museum's really cool as well. What else is there?
Footy's over by then. You might be able to catch some cricket at the MCG, which is always fun. If you like to get a bit of real culture.
If you want to do some shopping, you can get a bus out to Chadstone, the fashion capital.
Oh,
Wow.
Take that in Milan.
See the Rialto.
You've got to see the
Gotta
Rialto,
see the
Jacob.
Rialto. You're crazy if you don't.
You could have, of course, shop at the Paris end of
of Collins.
Collins Street.
Yes, that's right. And if you are at the Paris end of Collins Street, there's Loon. You can get a really good croissant.
Oh, I mean, they don't call it the Paris end for nothing, do
Exactly
they?
right. You can get a croissant
There's
there.
a croissant shop. Oh, I mean, so many great suggestions here, Jacob. Jacob, you should kick that off in the Facebook Patreon group because there's a fair few Melburnians in there who'll have better. I don't think we do enough stuff.
Well, it's 'cause we
go
live
see some
here.
comedy. What's one of the? Go see a show at the Comedy Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
cool.
absolutely do that. It's just a cool bar as well.
It's a great bar downstairs, and then go up and see a show there.
Yeah.
Pretty much any night. Most nights of the week they'll have a great show on there. That'd be a hot tip.
I think you should post in the Facebook group for the Patreon because fellow patron Matthew Webb does Melbourne tours
That's a
course.
great suggestion.
and
Yeah.
has some amazing info.
Oh,
Yeah.
Matthew's got.
You do a tour with him, and then he could tell you anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, that's
he'll
right.
tell you where to go. So if you just want him to tell you to fuck off, he'll do that.
He'll do that. Yeah.
You know,
for
if you
a
tip
price.
well.
Yeah.
It's a
He's
weird.
running a business here.
It's a weird system, but the more you pay, the more he'll tell you to fuck off if you want him to. Matthew's very good in that way.
Incredible.
Very generous.
Thank you, Jacob, for that question. It's funny. When I was thinking, I've really got to see Melbourne like a tourist sometime. I
Yeah.
always forget to do it. So I don't know any things. You could, walk down Sydney Road and go to Stupid Old Studios and record
Yeah.
a podcast.
It'd be pretty cool if you want to do that.
And then maybe get Zambreros in your break and,
get fish and chips from Uber Eats.
live like a local. Thank you, Jacob. The next one comes from Michael DeRizzi, a.k.a. the High King of Noldor. Any ideas of what that means?
I like it.
And
love
may
it.
be revealed in this fact.
Okay.
Michael writes, Bop, in the recent Chow Chiller episode, you kept apologizing for being the only one doing the Patreon bonus end of pod content. I just wanted to say, though, that in your absence, it can be worse, far worse. For my shout out some years ago, Matt and Dave and a Jess replacement decided that I was some kind of Voltron penis thing. I don't remember that at all. So a Jess replacement. Never apologized for being, probably Meso. Never apologized for being the one and only one. Oh, sorry, I fucking butchered that. Never apologized for being the only one there for us, Bop. You're the best. P.S. Matt and Dave, you're the best too.
Wow. Wish
Michael,
you hadn't said that. I was really touched for a bit there.
really watered down your compliment,
okay.
didn't it?
I'm the best, and they're also the
Well, I'm glad you gave us that little PS there.
I appreciate
That's
it.
very nice.
I appreciate a
That little
talking Voltron
postscript.
penis.
That sounds great, Michael. I can't believe you're spitting in our gift horse's
That-
mouth. Or whatever
That
the
sounds
saying
like
is.
truly inspired stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done some rubbish ones over the years.
Oh yeah.
Voltron penis.
That's funny.
That's good stuff.
That's blessed. We blessed you with Voltron's penis, Michael.
What a sentence.
You're welcome.
That's yours to keep, Michael. That's a memory you can have forever. And thank Michael. Thank you so much for listening through to the Patreon section of
Yeah.
the show, everyone's favorite section of the show. The final one this week comes from Vincenzo Bonadonna, aka Mr. Act.
How's that spelled?
ECHT. How would you say that?
I don't know. I like it.
And we didn't figure out what the High King of Noldor was either.
No.
But Vincenzo has a fact as well, aka Mr. Act. Writing, sound travels faster through... Oh, hang on. I'm going to have to... I never read these, so I read them, okay?
But you just started mumbling to yourself.
Because when there's a typo, it really stuffs me up.
Well, while you're reading that, I'll say the High King of Noldor looks like a Lord of the Rings thing.
Okay,
Gotcha.
great.
That makes sense.
And I think Vincenzo's just done a typo, but I think it's meant to be water. Here we go. Sound travels faster through water than through air. Or, if it was as written, sound travels faster through water than through air. But really, this is a suggestion for primates. Ooh. I sent this into the primates Gmail very near the beginning. I'm so sorry. I should never have set up that email. I lost control of it very early on.
I also haven't signed into the book sheet one in so long.
I've got to.
Sorry, everyone.
I don't know if you can delete them. I should delete them so it just bounces back. But yeah, I've got a form. I'm going to set that up again when we get primates going again soon. Anyway, Futurama episode, A Clockwork Origin, introducing Dr. Banjo, an orangutan. Futurama episode, Fry and Leela's Big Fling, which brings back Gunter from Mars University and Dr. Banjo. 2 great suggestions. I remember we did a Futurama episode with Gunter, maybe his first one at Mars University, but I don't recall doing a Dr. Banjo one. So thanks for those suggestions. And Vincenzo finishes by saying, thank you three for everything. I'm always delighted to be a part of such a wonderful community. Shout out to the Facebook page. That's very nice. Cheers to you, Vincenzo.
Good on you, Vincenzo.
Thanks for those facts, quotes, or questions. Like I say, if you want to get involved in that section, you can ask us anything. You can tell us any fact. You can give us any quote. You can do suggestions or brags or whatever you like, really. And all you need to do is sign up on the Sydney Scheinberg level. You also get to vote more times on topics and all sorts of stuff on that level. The next thing we like to do is shout out to a few of our other great supporters. Jess, you normally come up with a little bit of a game for this section.
That's true. I think maybe we should. We'll assign them each a list they appear in.
Okay.
You know how like 7 Wonders of the World or whatever, they can be in a BuzzFeed listicle.
Fantastic. I love that very much.
Okay.
So you can do the first one just to really
because I always
help explain to us what
I
it means.
butcher my explanation.
No, I butcher my interpretation. The first one I'd love to thank from Blair Athol, which is where the Stewarts are from, in Perth, in Scotland only. This is Blair Athol in New South Wales. I didn't know there was one there.
There you go.
I think there's a Blair Athol in Victoria as well. But from Blair Athol in New South Wales, Australia, Tim Almonte.
Ooh, Tim Almonte.
How do you like your pasta? I like mine Almonte.
Tim Almonte. This is the BuzzFeed listicle, which is top 10 names that sound like a fancy French dish.
Oh, yeah.
Tim Almonte.
Yeah.
Top of the list.
Top of the list.
And
Bonjour.
it could also be Tim Almont. Maybe, I don't know. But
that's also quite...
But it also
that's
sounds pretty French,
very
right?
French.
Beautiful, yeah.
It's not Almonte, it's Almonte.
Almont.
You sound like an imbecile.
So...
You incident coward.
And I'm really loving how this kind of implies that Jess sees the 7 Wonders of the World as a BuzzFeed article.
I assume that's where Dave got all of his info.
That's where I got him. Guilty.
Next up, I'd love to thank from Blackburn in Victoria, Australia, Jeremy Ballard. Dave, what list is Jeremy on?
Top 10 people most likely to...
I love a run-up. Top 10 ballads there with Tom and, 8 others.
Sure, there's other ballads.
The other ballads.
Ballard.
And bollards. Top 10
Yeah.
ballads and bollards. And then there's the other 8 are just photos of bollards blocking streets and stuff.
J.G. Ballard,
Oh,
an
yeah.
English novelist.
Dave would know them. Do you know them, Dave?
I'd love their work.
Um,
There's also Thomas Ballard, Virginia colonial politician.
oh, there you
Oh,
go.
see?
Dr. Susan Ballard, principal scientist at the Microbiological Diagnostic Unit of Public Health Laboratory.
Jeremy, you're in fine company, but
Yeah.
you're number 1 on the list.
There's also Tom Ballard, British mountaineer.
Wow, so
Go.
there's 2
It's
Toms and a Thomas.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Finally, for me, I'd love to thank from Toyohashi in Japan, Ashley Bartholomew.
From
Dave,
Japan. Very cool.
have you been to Japan?
I have.
I've never been. I'd love to go. Have you been to
No, I
Japan?
haven't. Everybody that has gone raves about it, though.
Yeah, people love it. I would love to go. But Dave, you don't like Japanese food, is that right?
No.
Yeah, remember that's where he had shepherd's pie and garlic bread.
That's right.
Every night.
That was Japan.
Every night.
So what list is Ashley on?
Top 7 non-Japanese dishes in Japan.
Oh, that's good.
And what's the Ashley Bartholomew dish?
Oh, that's actually special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a lasagna,
Uh-huh.
but also a crepe.
That's incredible. I had
It's very thin.
How can it be two things? But it is.
It is. It's incredible.
That's the Ashley
So it's
Bartholomew.
like the super thin crepe, then
Yeah.
a cheese and tomato, and then
Yeah.
super, and it's still
So thin.
even
Very
all of that.
thin.
It's
Yeah.
still
And
thin as a
that's
crepe.
Number 2 on the list. Number 1 is obviously shepherd's pie with garlic bread.
Yeah, obviously. I had an eggplant parma at a pub the other day that was a lasagna.
Oh,
It wasn't, you know how like
they did it wrong.
normally you'd get an eggplant parma and it's like it's crumbed like a chicken.
Yeah, a little bit
parma.
crunchy.
Right, and then
Yep.
it's got sauce on top. No. This was just like layers of eggplant.
Oh,
So it's like a moussaka.
But it was also gross. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't even taste good.
Oh, because I was going to say, like a veggie lasagna, that sounds
that
good.
sounds
But they'd
delightful.
stuffed up both
Yeah, it
dishes.
wasn't good.
yeah, because you could just use you can still use pasta
But the
in
chips
a
and
veggie
salad,
lasagna.
delicious.
Right, well that's good. Yeah, I don't like eggplant that much.
Nah.
It's rare. I reckon 1 in 5 times I have an eggplant dish, I don't think it's gross.
Yeah. I
1 in
agree.
5. That's not good enough. That's not a
No,
good
not,
enough.
I don't. I don't
No.
play those odds unless I have to.
I've had some good eggplant parmas, and I've had some absolute shockers as well.
I think I had a pretty good one at the Chippo where we
Chippo?
did our gig there years ago in
Yeah.
Sydney.
Yeah.
That's one of the few I remember being okay, which is high praise
Oh,
for a
just-
person who
Yeah.
hates eggplant.
Just fuck off eggplant.
Yeah, I reckon fuck it off.
It's like if I had to get rid of a vegetable, it
Yeah.
might be up there.
Top of the on a listicle.
Yeah.
That'd be
Eggplant,
top of the
fuck
list.
off.
Maybe I feel like I would keep it around up.
Sorry,
Maybe
aubergine.
yes. Now I feel like if it was called aubergine, I've got a little more time for it.
Do you reckon?
Just because it's a cool
Eggplant.
word, eggplant.
I don't eat eggs either, so
Oh, damn.
eggplant.
Yeah,
Ugh.
You're doomed.
it's not a nice word,
No,
eggplant.
No. Not a
Or
nice
food.
connotation in emoji form either.
I thought it's a very nice connotation. Who wants to do the next 3?
I'm up for it.
Go on, Dave.
All the way. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. We've just had someone from Japan, and we've got another person here from Kawasaki in Japan. It is Chiharu Nishimoto.
Ooh.
Haru Nishimoto is on the.
The 30 under 30
Oh yeah, and what? Just being great.
being the leaders of tomorrow.
Wow.
Today.
That's right.
And Chiharu,
It's like watch these names, you know?
you know, if you are older than 30, this is obviously like a backdated issue.
Yeah.
It's from whenever you were under 30.
That's right.
And if you are older now,
Uh-huh.
my word, have you not reached your potential? Yes, you have. We're all very proud of you. You're one of the few. There's a few where are they now type people on that list.
Yeah.
If you are over 30.
That's right. But if you aren't,
If you aren't, then
perfect.
I mean,
Look
I'm
at all
looking
the
at the
potential
future.
you
and
have. Wow.
That is fun. Look, that's pure coincidental that we had 2 Japanese
Yeah, that's cool.
shout outs in a row.
Very, very cool. I'd like to thank now from West Harptree in Great Britain, George Wright.
George Wright, on the listicle of people who are right by name and right by nature.
Just people getting it done. George Wright, top of the list. You know what George has done? He's been out there. He's been working the fields. He's been picking up ladies'
Yep.
bags when they drop them.
Yeah.
Old ladies who
Happens
can't
a
bend
lot.
down and get them.
Yeah,
But he'll be there
Is that to help them or
to help them.
Okay, good.
He's doing it right. And he trims hedges even when they're not his hedges.
Okay, that's an overstep, but okay.
As a favour, he always asks first.
Oh, that's
He always
good,
asks
that's
first. You need a little trim hedge? I say, what?
Does he ask
I
the
said,
head?
sorry, had something about, sorry. Do you need your hedge trimmed there? And I'll
so
say,
he's-
yeah, that'd be
I
fantastic.
thought he was asking the hedge for permission rather than the person.
He does, well, he'll ask both.
You're right there, hedge. I'll sort you out.
But hey, you need a little trim.
Short hair, short back and sides.
Hey, there you go. Hey, you're right. Hey, you're right. Hey, ooh, shh,
You're right.
I'll give you a little trim here.
No, he's putting it down.
Anyway, yeah, he's on the top 10 list of rights by name.
Right one.
Rights by name.
That's-
George Wright, thank you so much.
That's
I'd like to
beautiful.
also thank from Pascoe Vale here in Victoria, Australia. It's Hillsy, everyone.
Hillsy.
Hillsy.
Adam Hills, you think?
Maybe. So there is only one L. It's like they've combined Will Anderson and Adam Hills into one name. And it's Hillsy.
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 Well, I made they on the list of top 10 people mistaken for Adam Hills,
Yeah.
along with Will Anderson.
Will Anderson. Who else is on that list?
Probably Alan Bro.
Alan Bro. Yeah, you'd get it. Miff, I guess.
Yeah.
If you run him by that. Jill, I suppose, as well. By association.
All the Spicks and Specs associates.
Um,
and Will Anderson. And number one is Hillsy.
Hillsy.
Because we've done it here.
Yeah,
we've done it right here.
And we apologise for that, Hillsy. You deserve better than that.
Sorry, Hillsy.
That's on us. Apologise,
But
Hillsy.
good to see you top of that list.
And thanks so much for your support. In the beautiful neighbourhood of Pascoe Vale. Not too far from it, just a stone's throw away
Wow.
from Brunswick here.
Quite the stone.
It's a big piff.
It's a big old.
Piff.
It's
I
a
love
big
the
piff.
word piff.
It's a
Boy,
big
piff it
old
here.
piff. You're chucking it all the way over West Brunswick and the rest of Brunswick to get it to Pascoe Vale. But I reckon, if Jess did it with her leg, she could piff.
You piff with your leg?
I mean, it's kicking is what a lot of people call it. But you
No.
call it leg piffing, don't you?
Yeah, I call it leg piffing. Thank you for using my preferred term. Can I thank some people?
That'd be awesome.
Great. I would love to thank from Belfast, Mike Lawrenson.
Mike Lawrenson is on the list. Dave, I'll kick this off and you can bring it home.
I love them.
Dave.
It always works.
okay.
Mike Lawrenson is on the list for the top 13 bakers who've made a...
Baker's dozen.
That's perfect because the list has 13. That is
Incredible.
good. That is good
Guys,
stuff. That's
that's
a
good
nice
stuff.
list.
And you're making it like that's a rare thing for bakers to do.
Yeah, but that is... Well,
Of children. They've had 13 kids, is that what you mean?
yeah. Credited.
Bakers who've birthed 13 children.
That's nice. That's
My-
good list.
What a
actually.
list.
Yeah,
Good list.
that's a nice.
Can you
list.
do a Belfast accent, Bob?
No.
I'd have to think of that guy from Cold Feet. I'd have to hear his voice to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I can't think of it. James Nesbitt, is that his name?
Yeah.
Sure thing.
That's a name I recognise, and I know the guy you're talking about. Are they the same person? Not sure.
I don't know.
Don't
either.
know, but I
is,
recognise the
that is
name.
him.
Okay,
He-
yeah, great.
He's a Northern Irish. I don't know if he's from Belfast.
I can't do
though.
Northern Irish. I love it. Can't do it.
Hi, I'm James Nesbitt.
I take it back. You've nailed that.
Wow.
I would also love to thank from Vienna in Austria.
Vienna.
I'd love to thank SR.
SR. How do you spell that?
ES.
Yes.
AR.
SR.
SR. SR.
It is the letters SR.
Correct. Yes.
Senior. That's my dad's name.
Surely there's going to be top 8 people who use 2 initials in their name.
Yeah, like PT Barnum.
Right.
E.M. Forster.
Yep. W.A. Jordan.
What's about that Wells
W.C.
guy?
Fields.
H.G. Wells. Have you said him?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then JR. Just JR.
J.R. Puffin stuff. Is that a thing?
SR. SR's on
Sorry,
that list.
SR. I said JR. I was thinking of JR talking anyway. SR. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
J.R.R.
SR.
Tolkien, of course, not on the list
Is it 3?
because there's a
Yeah,
superfluous
absolutely.
letter.
Kicked out.
Get the fuck off my list. And finally, I would love to thank from Northgate in Queensland. I would love to thank Jessica Cooper.
Coops. I believe that is. I've met Coops. I know Coops. If I'm thinking of the right person, apologies if I'm not.
Just yelled.
It's a relatively common name, Jessica
Coops.
Cooper.
Yeah, it is actually.
But
yeah.
either way, you're Coops to me.
That's nice.
Big fan of the Coops family. And what list are the Coopers on? What in particular? Jessica, another Jessica Jess.
Yeah, it's actually the top 10 Jessicas.
Wow.
And may I remind you, it was the most popular girl's name for about a 10-year period.
Yeah.
So to get into the top 100 is actually an incredible list. To make it to the top 10, Jessica Cooper, that is an achievement. You're putting that on your resume. That's in your Insta bio. Like, that's huge.
That is big.
That is
That's
big.
Wow, that is big time.
Yeah. Jessica Cooper will be the reason that the name Jessica comes back in fashion.
Oh, yes.
Any day now.
It's coming back.
Last time I was in town in Brisbane, Jessica and I went to Rick's and tore the town apart, or at least that one bar.
That sounds right.
We were much older than everyone else there, dancing it up.
Rick's.
Pretty cool, actually.
Love to hear.
Pretty
You love
cool.
Rick's,
It's
don't
pretty
you?
cool to actually
No,
think
Matt,
about that.
that's actually incredibly cool. I'll have you know.
Hey, Grandpa, get off the dance floor.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Yeah.
That sort of cool stuff.
That's cool.
Oh, Stallone was calling you a...
It's getting called old by Stallone. Bit rich, Sly.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
Have a look in the mirror, mate.
Yeah.
Okay? You ain't no spring chicken.
No. And nothing wrong with that.
That's fine. But, like, don't...
You know?
Why are you calling me old?
Why are you calling me
I'm
old?
younger than you.
Well, I'm not younger than
No,
you,
but he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that. Look,
I could be younger than you.
I've got beautiful skin for my age.
Yeah, you look incredible.
So thank you very much to Jessica, Essa, Mike, Hilsey, George, Chiharu, Ashley, Jeremy, and Tim. The last thing we like to do is go through some very, very special supporters and welcome them into our Triptych Club. To be involved in this, you just have to be signed up on the shout-out level or above 3 straight years, and then you get welcomed into the club. It's a club. You're allowed in, but you're never allowed out again. It's lifelong membership, whether you like it or not. And hopefully that sounds good to you. You know, not sinister at all.
Yeah, we're trying to make this sound appealing, so hopefully you like that.
So normally what happens here is a bit of theatre of the mind. I'm standing on the door. This is a genuine club.
Yeah, clubhouse, it's a bar.
It's everything.
It's a
There's
relaxing
booze if you
space.
want. You know, there's massages and
Yeah.
there's like you can get a mani-pedi.
Yeah.
We got one of the whole feet from that Colossus thing or whatever.
Yeah,
my
we've got
goodness.
shops in there.
There's a photos place. There's the toe ring shop.
Yeah.
We got all that in there.
But like cool toe rings.
Yeah.
But no buttons.
Dave, we vetoed Dave's
Apparently.
idea. Dave wanted to put in a button
So
shop.
good luck if you dance so hard that your jeans break because we can't fucking fix them.
And Sylvester Stallone's on the side going, hey, man, throw up your pants.
Dave, even if there was a button shop, you could go buy yourself a new button and then what are you going to do? You don't know how to put it back together. What we need is a tailor,
Yeah.
a seamstress.
Jess suggested a haberdashery section. At least then you'd have some thread
Exactly.
and needle.
You're
and
just
stuff.
like, no, I just want buttons.
I like buttons.
You
Like,
just,
sue me.
do you
what
assume
if I
that
could, mate? I would if I could.
don't they just stick back on? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
Dave.
Oh, David.
Sweet, sweet Dave.
You stupid idiot. You beautiful fool.
So anyway, it's a club, and I'm standing on the door. I've got the velvet rope there. I've got a clipboard with a list of names. This week we have 5 names on it. I'm going to read out your name. Dave's on stage inside the club. He's got the microphone. He is the master of ceremonies. He's there to hype you up, welcome you in. Everyone else has been in. They're clapping along to your name. They're chanting along.
Clap. David.
Sly's there. Sly never, you know, he's sort of an honorary member. Jess there is behind the bar, but she's sort of like Dave's Paul Schaefer type.
Yeah.
She's mixing
I'm wearing
cocktails.
sunnies.
She's organised some dishes. She's playing the keyboards.
That's right.
But she's also hyping Dave up.
Yeah.
Because Dave isn't the best MC, and Jess is there to make sure he
No,
believes
I am the
himself.
best MC,
Sorry,
and
yes.
she's there for me.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Hey, this week I actually thought of something to serve for food.
Oh,
Because you know
fantastic.
how usually I don't?
Yeah.
Well, this time in honor of all these like big, amazing statues, I've made a life-size version of myself made out of sandwiches. To eat up.
That's fantastic.
Just little finger sandwiches. They're all different.
Oh, that's so good.
It's fun.
Yum. I'm going to
Why'd you laugh? That's cute.
start with a belly button.
In honor of the 7 wonders of the world.
I've made myself out of sandwich.
Here it is, the 8th wonder of the world.
And it's life-size, so it's 5'7". It's not actually that impressive in terms of like grand scheme of things. But in terms of like sandwich
Like a
display, that's
sandwich
pretty good.
person, I'm impressed.
That's
Yeah.
huge for a sandwich
That's
person.
massive.
So just come up with that. And a drink. Do you normally have a 7 wonders of the world?
Yes, so what
cocktail?
I've done is I've actually made... I've had custom glassware made
Yes.
of you guys.
Oh.
And I'm going to fill them with water, and then people can be like, who's this tall drink of water? And it'll finally be true about you.
Wow, the 9th and 10th wonders of the world.
And Dave, you normally...
Glasses.
I'm honoured.
Yeah, you're really cute.
Thank you so much, Jess. And Dave, you normally book a band as well for the after party?
Absolutely. Tonight we are blessed by the White Stripes playing the hardest button to button over and over again.
Dun, dun. Do they have that moving drum? on the front?
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic.
Moving around.
All right. Well, there's 5 names I'm about to induct, Dave. Are you ready? Are you
I'm
ready
so
to
ready to welcome
welcome
in
them in?
the latest legends.
All right. First up, I'd love to welcome in from Alton in Hampshire in Great Britain. It's Philly Ellis.
Oof, you Philly jealous? No, I'm Philly Ellis.
That is good.
From Currumbin in Queensland, Australia, it's Joel Broom.
Oh, brum brum.
From Butt in MT in the United States, it's Anita Matthews.
I'm thirsty. I need a drink, and then I need a Matthews.
From Moncrief in the Australian Capital Territory, it's Nick Lucas.
Oh, somebody stole my heart. No, they nicked my heart. Nick Lucas.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
And finally from Moggawilly Street in New South Wales, it's Christian Every.
You are my Christian everything.
Yes.
Welcome in Christian, Nick, Anita, Joel, and Philly. Where is MT in the US, Dave? Doesn't matter. Welcome all of them in Montana, maybe. Doesn't matter. The Big Sky Country, isn't that what Montana is?
It's Montana.
Wow. I'd love to go there. Thank you so much to Christian, Nick, Anita, Joel, and Philly. I'd also love to visit Alton, Currumbin, Butt, Moncrief, and Wongawilly Street. Thanks so much for joining us, all of you. Make yourselves at home. Please enjoy the White Stripes. Repeating that relatively short song over and over. Enjoy some of Jess's fine. Tall glasses of water and
sandwiches.
Sandwiches. And these are just the right temperature, is that correct?
The sandwiches?
Yeah, cooked to
boiling
perfection.
hot.
You know how people go to see stuff recreated in Lego?
Yeah.
Hot sandwiches.
They're no, but not toasted. They're
no.
just really hot.
Because, yeah, Dave wanted, that's great for Dave. He wanted a hot toasted sandwich.
Yeah, but it's
Thank
not
you.
toasted. It's just hot.
I'll have a margarita pizza. Yeah, people go to just line up to see stuff made out of Lego. I would genuinely go to a place where they'd recreated wonders of the world and people out of sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's way more interesting to me.
Thank you.
For sure.
Well done.
Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. Jess, what else do we need to tell people before we go?
That if they want to suggest a topic, they can do so. There's a link in the show notes. There's also, you can find it on our website, which is dogoonpod.com, which is where you can find a whole bunch of things. You can listen to old episodes and you can buy merch. And we love you. And we hope that that thing that you were worried about has cleared up.
Yeah, hopefully
That
it's not,
rash.
it's not as big as you thought it was.
Yeah.
Hopefully that rash is not as big as you thought it
hope
was.
So.
Yeah. Oh, that's only quite small.
It's a small rash.
Dave, boot us home.
We'll be back next week with another episode. But until then, I'll say thank you so much for listening and goodbye.
Later.
Bye.